What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. Today, we are going to start by talking a little bit about the college football playoff. We're going to talk about Week 17 of the NFL games and, of course, preview Week 18 and all the games that are going down, all the playoff scenarios that are involved in those. We'll make our picks. We will, as briefly as possible, discuss our fantasy champion because none of us are happy about it, and we'll talk a little bit about...
We didn't have a fantasy league. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right! We didn't do one this year.
We didn't have one this year.
We should do a fantasy
really
league.
do one next year.
We should do a fantasy
next
league.
Year we should do one.
This is a great idea.
Don't you agree?
Sure. I don't know what's happening.
Dude.
Oh yeah, for
We're
sure.
doing a fantasy league
Should
next
we
year.
do a fantasy league next year?
I think we should.
Decided
We've
not
never
to do
done
it
one
this year.
before.
Can
We decided
we
not to do it this year.
try
We
to
were
do?
close.
I don't
We were
know if
close.
we can get this many people involved, but we should try to do a 32-man league because that'd be really
32
fun.
would be cool.
We might be able to swing that.
We can
Yeah.
probably swing that.
That'd be
But
sick.
dude, this is a great idea. I don't know, Miller. This is fantastic. Next year, we're
Yeah,
going
I
to
know,
fantasy league for the first time ever in the history of this show.
I know.
Can't believe we haven't thought
Because
of it before.
this is a totally new concept. I don't. Can you think of any
Yeah,
other
this is
podcasts
awesome.
that invite their viewers to be in a fantasy league?
I probably could, but I don't want to.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
I did.
Run the North.
Yeah.
We're gonna patent
On the
it.
North
We're gonna
Fantasy League
patent it, make money.
patented. No other podcast can do fantasy leagues.
No.
Starting now.
I don't.
Dueling
Starting at
Fates.
this moment.
Nope. Don't
Dueling
try.
Fates, no fantasy
Sorry,
league. Don't even try.
that one already exists.
Curb Stomp podcast. Nope. You can't do one.
That one
Right
also
on
already
board. Oh,
exists.
sorry.
Sorry. Shit. Sorry.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's coming back. I can feel it. No, it's not. Is it?
What's coming
Yeah,
back?
it's
The Bear Down Boys, man. What happened?
the Bears exist. That podcast is coming back when the
you
Bears
think I
come
want to
back.
talk about that team for an hour plus
Yeah,
every
dude.
week?
A podcast solely about the Bears would end in Miller never being seen again, probably.
I would have been dead by week 8, dude.
Yeah.
No,
but yeah,
like week 8, you were like 4-4.
it's true.
No, I would
Well, they
no.
were
The
4-2.
Commanders game would have done me in.
Yeah.
I would have. I would have been at the Commanders game watching the Hail Mary and then thought in my head, "Oh God, I have to go talk about this on 2 podcasts this week," and then I would have died. I would have
Sure.
jumped onto the field.
Yeah.
There would have been a splatter.
Nice.
Well, now that we've established that we're doing a fantasy league for the first time in show history this upcoming football season, how are you boys? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing okay. My internet isn't doing great, but I'm currently uploading a YouTube short. I started doing those recently, so if you wanna check those out, you should.
So when the show started and you started doing the intro, did you see me go to stand up and slap myself in the face with my microphone?
Yeah, I chose not to acknowledge it.
I know. I was kind of waiting for you to. I kind of like stopped and looked. I'd pulled a Jim from The Office and stared directly into the camera. That was tough. That's about how my last couple of days has been. That's
Solid,
biblically
dude. All right.
accurate.
Wow.
2025 is
All
off
right,
to a
well,
hot start, man. It's a hot start.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, most of the to the disagreement of these two boys, we're going to talk about college football a little bit, because we are in the midst of the most important time for college football, which is the playoffs.
No, the most important
I'm
time
not
starts
gonna-
next week. Now that the real
I'm not going
playoffs
to
have
go and
started.
talk about I'm not going to go and talk about the first round because it was a whole heaping pile of garbage full of teams who had no place being there. Looking at you, SMU. Looking at you, Indiana. Blah blah blah. And
guys.
yeah, yes.
I was gonna say Alabama should have been in the playoff.
No.
I know.
No, the SEC is getting rocked, dude. They only
I was
got
gonna
one team
say,
left.
I couldn't remember what
Only
the
one
full
team
bit
left.
was. I just know because didn't
the
Alabama
SEC
get like beat to death by Michigan
Yeah.
against like the weakest Michigan roster we're gonna
They
see
also
for a
lost
while.
to Oklahoma,
Oh,
unranked.
not only
bad,
did they get beat
and
by Michigan,
Vanderbilt.
but
unranked bad.
you know who didn't play for Michigan? Like
Who?
everybody.
So okay, so it was what like Orgy
And Milrow
the
did play.
backups?
So, yeah, Orgy is a backup though, because
Oh,
their
I thought he
starter
started.
got hurt.
That shows you how much I
Um,
know about Michigan.
But
Well, they also didn't have a starter all year. It was just whoever they felt like putting on the field.
I was
For
gonna say because aren't their
particular
quarterbacks
games.
horrid?
It was two quarterbacks who do different things that they put in different games, thinking that those two things could beat a certain defense, and then they didn't. But they did against Ohio State.
What's
Oh.
the age-old thing that one of the greatest coaches of all time started
You
saying?
got
that
two
describes-
quarterbacks, you don't have any.
Exactly.
Which is only kind of
Anyway,
true. You can have two quarterbacks, but actually have one as a real starter.
It's true.
Like,
Well, yeah,
the-
that's different, but
if you're trying to
Okay, you're
use
just
two at a
saying
time.
that- You're just
Yeah.
saying that because JJ McCarthy's
I was
sitting on
thinking
the
about the
bench.
Packers when I said that, but okay.
Oh,
So shut
JJ
up.
JJ
were.
McCarthy, future Las Vegas Raider.
yeah,
Okay,
JJ
dude.
McCarthy. He's got two quarterbacks. She ain't got any.
No,
you got to get
but-
rid of them.
Mason Graham didn't play. Will Johnson didn't play. Neither of the two running backs played.
Draft.
What? Right. But what I'm saying is they didn't play. It doesn't matter why they didn't
Yeah.
play. Alabama played guys who were also going to get drafted and lost to a Michigan team without its like 8 best players. Alabama's not a good team, and at this point, I don't know if Jalen Milroe's draftable. Playing the way he did
I mean-
against Michigan and Oklahoma, I wouldn't draft him. I don't mean in the first round. I mean at all.
I saw someone say Jalen Milroe plays how racists think all black quarterbacks play, and that might be the worst insult I've ever heard towards a quarterback.
He's got some passing chops, but he's a really good
Never
runner.
watched him throw football,
I
so
know.
I have no
But-
idea.
Yeah. So okay, quick notes about round 2. Boise. Do not give teams like them a bye. Did not belong there for a second. Listen, and I'm saying this as someone who loves the man. If you're playing Penn State, you're not gonna win by just giving it to Ashton Genty because Penn State, a lot better run defense than fucking UNLV or like whatever, dude. I understand he's very good and he's going to be a generational prospect, but you're gonna have to throw the ball. And Maddox Madsen, my brother, I'm sorry. You're not it. You're not a good quarterback. You're not against Penn State.
Gonna say, didn't Genty still have like 120 yards?
He
on the
did,
ground?
yeah, but
Like,
you just can't beat Penn
104.
State without
But on 30
yeah.
carries, he was averaging 3.5 per carry. That's
You
bad.
just
Can
can't.
boxes.
You cannot give your running back 30 carries against the Penn State offense. You just
Yeah.
can't. Because the Penn State
I
offense can
was-
throw the ball better than almost anybody at this point.
Dude,
And run the ball better than
I
almost
hate
anybody.
how close
Tyler
this
Warren-
game was at one point, though. It was 17-14 in the third quarter, and I was like, oh, boy,
Yeah,
we have a ball
that's,
game.
That's before Drew Aller woke the fuck up. That's what happened.
Is he staying?
needs to just
What? Yeah.
yeah. That's why Bo Prabula transferred.
He claimed he was staying, but now people are unsure.
Yeah, it's not official. NFL, apparently all the scouts are like, yeah, he's going to be in the NFL in 2025. We know this. So
Well-
we're going to scout him as if he's going to be.
Well, they're scouting him,
I
and
think they're
now
just manifesting.
all of the rumors are coming out that he's like number 1 on everybody's board because,
It
like,
depends
yes.
on if they
Eh.
make if they win the national championship, they won't. But if they did, he would enter the draft and he would go first overall to the Giants without a doubt.
Yes.
By far. If the Giants had the pick, if they trade up,
I was
they
gonna
actually-
Or the
he's-
Raiders, whoever trades up to number 1
whoever
is taking
has the first
Aller.
overall pick,
Yes.
if it's not the Patriots, is taking Drew Aller. If they win the national
Just-
championship, it won't.
Just to make sure, he's the kid that like was mediocre, and then this year sprung into
Dude,
being a superstar.
He is
out of nowhere, right?
absolutely, dude. His
Was he
throwing
mediocre
chops
last
are.
year?
I
He
remember
he
I
was-
watched the
yes.
WVU game, and they were saying like he really
think
wasn't
these have
like this
been-
last year, and he threw like crazy, he was
yeah.
throwing crazy touchdowns.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's been really good this year. Still a little inaccurate, but he's got the Josh Allen bozo gene.
Mm.
The terrible decision throws
How
it
big
into
is he? Is he
quadruple
Josh
coverage.
Allen?
He's about as big as Josh Allen.
He is
but he's not-
6'5".
He's not.
Oof, I
He's
don't know
not
what he weighs.
he's not as effective as of a runner as Josh
So
Allen.
he's
is by
East
any
Coast
means.
Josh Allen without wheels, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean he's got a cannon.
I mean,
Like,
is he
can
without
throw- he can
wheels or
throw.
is he just?
He can
not
run, but he's
use
not like
wheels?
he's not the elite rushing threat that Josh Allen is. He
Yeah.
can run,
Okay.
or was in college, I guess. But yeah, Boise, I love them, and I thought they were a cool story with Genty, but they just weren't going to hang with a team like Penn State coming
Well-
out of the Big Ten.
I don't know. They
good-
shouldn't have been a
good-
playoff team because the playoffs shouldn't be 8 goddamn teams. It just shouldn't.
I thought it was 12
but yeah.
now.
Or yeah, it
It
shouldn't
was
be
12,
8
but
either.
yeah.
It shouldn't. It's
How many
dumb.
should it be?
4.
4.
Honestly, I at this point think they should just
I
take
think
it
the
back
12-team
and just
playoff is
pick the
going
two
to figure
teams
it
going to
out,
the national
probably.
champion because
I
like
think
this
this
is
is-
stupid.
I think this is a trial run for it, and
I think they're
going
gonna try to expand it to like 14 because they're stupid and I hate them.
What if
It
we
should
had
just be-
100 playoffs?
Right?
I was gonna say
like,
it should just be the same size as the March Madness tournament.
No!
I think
If
that'd
we
be
had
so
a,
funny.
if we had a best of 64.
what if we
Let's do
just do the best of one and just we
imagine-
just go back
but
to the
imagine-
OG
but
and don't
imagine
even have a national.
January insanity.
But
As
No.
opposed to March Madness.
POV. It is like December 29th at 5 p.m. The 1-seeded Georgia Bulldogs are facing off against the 16 seed Old Dominion Bulldogs. Could you imagine, dude? Could you
I thought they were the
imagine?
Monarchs.
Monarchs, that's it. A lot of Bulldog schools. I get confused.
There are.
Anyway, the Old Dominion Monarchs march into Athens and beat them.
Yeah, that won't happen.
History.
But,
Everybody
history, baby.
gangsta till a 1 seed gets beat by some action. Okay.
but they won't.
But
That's what-
Toledo
That's what
Rockets
everybody said about doing the playoffs like they were this way.
dominating the
It's,
Oregon
it's all
Ducks.
fun and games until, we get to see SMU go beat Penn. Oh, right. Better football programs are always going to win no matter what.
that's what they said when Notre Dame played at IU. That was an upset that happened.
Hey, if Notre
I
Dame
follow
wins the national
NIU
championship,
loosely.
can we all just say that NIU won the national championship?
Hey, can we just give it to NIU so Brock Lampy can have the MVP? I like this idea.
I don't think
What do you
they
have
should.
against Brock Lampy?
Yeah.
Nothing
what do you have
against
against
Brock
Brock
Lampy.
Respect Brock Lampy.
No, I
He's
just
great.
don't. Brock
You know
Lampy's
who we
fine.
should
I
respect?
just don't respect the middle letter of NIU.
Oh, but if it was okay, well, you're just mad they like kicked the teeth
And
out of Wyoming
MU.
this year.
Northern Minnesota
Did they?
University.
Oh,
UB
I'm
all
pretty sure.
jumping
I
around.
don't
They,
know.
yeah, they
Who
did.
Let me
did
double check
Wyoming?
that.
Hold on. Who did Wyoming play this year? I don't know. Wyoming almost beat Boise. That was fun.
Oh no, I'm stupid. Wyoming beat NIU
Oh.
50 to 43. No, they didn't
Good
either.
lord.
This is an old game because Rocky Lombardi was the quarterback.
We didn't play NIU this year.
Didn't even play this year,
Oh.
did they?
I'm
Nope.
thinking of
Oh my
Western
gosh.
Michigan. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah, no.
Um,
Wyoming
also, I
did
just-
suck this year, though. They had
Shocker.
3 wins. They beat
just
Air
wanna
Force,
say-
New Mexico, and Washington State.
Geek.
2 out of the 3 of those
Wyoming
teams are
NIU game I'm
legitimately
looking at.
bottom 3 teams.
We played in 1-score games against like everybody except Arizona State and BYU.
Oh, perfect transition. Arizona State,
Whoa.
keeping it close with Texas. It was so close, and
Okay,
yeah.
so
I don't know,
what happened? I
Cam
saw everybody.
Scatterbo, baby.
I saw everybody like yapping because Texas's kicker missed, and then I went to.
It was-
I couldn't watch the game, so I just went and like checked Google at what was happening, and Texas still had the ball. They missed the kick, but
It was.
kept the ball.
It was. No, that's not the case.
Well, Arizona never
Google's
got-
behind.
Okay, well, but there was only like a minute
it
left.
probably
What
said
happened?
that Texas still had the ball. He missed the kick on 000s.
Ooh.
So Google was definitely behind. So
Well,
they
but-
kept the ball technically because they didn't know who was getting in overtime yet.
Gotcha.
So I'm pretty sure Google didn't move the possession marker. But Arizona State fought so hard. Cam Scatterbo is a maniac, dude. 100 plus receiving yards, 150 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown.
I saw some podcast today tell me he can't be any good in the NFL though. I don't remember who it was, but let me see if I can find it.
Who?
I don't.
Cam
I just said it.
Scatterbo.
Yeah. Oh,
No, but I'm saying what player? Oh, I
Scatterbo.
Oh,
zoned out.
Cam Scatterbo. Yeah.
I haven't watched a ton of Scatterbo, but from what I've seen, I can see a lot of James Conner in him, which fucking rocks.
Apparently he's not
James
gonna be
Conner
any good.
is the comp. Good receiving chops, breaks every tackle, hard runner, old style of runner.
I like him.
Super durable. Took a million hits against Texas defense. They were killing him,
Yeah.
and he
He had a
never
fucking
stepped out of the
passing
game.
touchdown, didn't he?
Passing touchdowns,
he
3
did it
rushing
all.
touchdowns, 100 receiving yards, 150 plus rushing. Yeah, monster.
I was gonna say,
Um,
as of right, like early prediction, he's gonna be my RB2. I really fuck with Scatterbo.
I don't think there's anybody who comes close to him as RB2.
Really?
To Janty. I think he's very. He could have been a Heisman finalist with the numbers he put
Okay.
up this year. I think he's very clearly RB2.
Wow.
Okay, I was gonna say
I
again,
don't agree,
remember,
but
I
that's
haven't
okay. But I also haven't
watched-
watched that much yet either.
Who
so-
exactly do you think is close to him
I don't know.
as RB2?
I haven't watched a ton, but I don't know. Seeing as
So you're just
nobody
making it
else thinks he's
completely-
no, like I don't know. I've heard a lot about like Caleb Johnson from Iowa, brain broke. Ollie Gordon, I know a lot of people talked about coming into the year. Does he suck? I actually don't know.
He fell off. He
Did
fell
he?
off after he got arrested.
What happened to
Yeah,
the two
it broke
guys
him, I
in
think.
Ohio
what?
State?
Ollie Gordon is a bad dude.
Oh,
He got
really?
arrested for assault, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Damn.
something like that. He got in some legal trouble. It might have been assault. It was something
I was
bad.
gonna say
I'm
Um,
gonna
there's the
look this
kids
up
at
now just so we
Ohio
don't.
State. There's Hampton at North Carolina. I know is a name.
I don't think either of the kids at Ohio State fully committed to going out
Henderson
yet.
is. I know that.
I think
Okay,
Judkins might
Henderson.
stay.
He was arrested on suspicion of a
uh,
DUI. So yes, piece of shit, but
oh.
not assault.
Yeah. I
Might
was
be
mixing him
worse,
up with
but
somebody else. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's Scatabo. People don't like Scatabo because he's cocky, one, and two, because people think he's a clown just because he's very emotional and passionate, and he was
Oh, he's getting the
whining
Caleb
about
treatment.
he was
I
whining
love the
about
guy
some
already.
he was whining about the refs early in the Texas game.
Oh.
People were like, "Oh, this little baby, just play football," and then he did what he did. So I don't know. People don't like him because he's a unique personality, I'll say, which isn't a bad thing. But that's why people.
Sounds to me like he has a home in Chicago.
why are you a hater of Caleb Johnson, Jake? That's what I want to know.
I don't even know what team he plays for.
Iowa.
Iowa. I only know that from
Me
CFP.
3 seconds ago, the first time I said Caleb Johnson from Iowa. You know that from me. He had a huge year. He's great. Bro just
Yeah.
ignored Iowa's existence. He's a hater.
I mean, can you blame him?
Yes.
He's also not as good as Scatabo is. That's just. Even if you want to be like, oh, I haven't watched them, like, you can just look at the stats. And
Can you?
touchdowns. The amount of touchdowns, Cam Scatabo had more yards. And he's more effective as a receiving back by a million. Also never seen Caleb Johnson throw a 30-yard dot for a touchdown, so.
Well, that's not really a
So-
requirement for running backs.
Real. He's like Walter Payton on God. It's,
Yeah, speaking of the kids from Ohio State, my God, I hate that they're as good as they are, but Jeremiah Smith, holy shit, dude, he is so good. He is so good. He would go first overall to the Patriots if he were going to be in, but he's a true freshman, and he can't be, unfortunately. But
Do you guys
Jeremiah Smith is.
do you guys believe in any of the like sports superstition things? You guys big
like, what
superstitious people?
specifically?
I don't just any of them. Like anything at all. You believe in any sports
I
superstition?
guess it depends.
Are you superstitious at all? When especially in particular with sports.
I think
Every
it
time I try to be, I'm
depends.
wrong. So, yeah.
So I am gonna stand by. I don't think Ohio State lost this game or won this game. I think Oregon fucked up and chose to lose. They're the first team in like 35 years to not incorporate the rose into their uniform at all for the Rose Bowl, and they got fucking shithoused for it. Just like the last team who didn't incorporate the rose.
I'm going to put another theory out there.
What's that?
Oregon's quarterback is Dylan Gabriel, and that's why
That's
they lost
better
the
than
football
Will
game.
Howard.
Because
Did you just
he
call him Oregon?
Yeah, he's
Oregon.
Uh,
Um,
Dylan Gabriel is better at literally everything than Will Howard. Literally everything. Will Howard's not good at football. So you can't do the quarterback game.
I'm just saying Dylan Gabriel sucks, and he's not good.
But so does Will
and
Howard.
is not an NFL prospect. In what world did I just say? But Will Howard is great.
Well, but you're saying Oregon's
let me stop
bad
you.
because Will
I
Howard
didn't.
or
Let me
because
stop
Dylan
you.
Gabriel's bad, but Ohio State's
But I
good.
didn't say Ohio State is good because Will Howard is good. Did I? No.
I don't know.
No, I didn't. I said that
You're
because
just blaming
Caleb
it all
Downs is
on
fantastic,
quarterbacks.
and Jeremiah Smith is fantastic, and their defense is really good, and their offensive line is playing at an elite level without their two best players, and they have two of the best running backs in the country. Not because Will Howard is a superstar, but because Will Howard can put it on and open Jeremiah Smith. While his defense locks down, I don't know, some of the receivers in Oregon whose names I don't know because they're irrelevant, and because Dylan Gabriel hasn't made them relevant because he's terrible. Anyway, Tez Johnson got locked up because their defense is really good. I am not saying, hey, Ohio State won this football game because of former Kansas State legend Will Howard, who should have stayed there, because that wouldn't have put the bright lights on them. I'm saying they won because their defense, Dylan Gabriel, couldn't handle the heat and couldn't handle playing Caleb Downs in the secondary. Sorry, Dylan.
I think it's still more to do with not including the Rose. Ohio State had the Rose.
Statistically, Dylan Gabriel didn't have a horrible game.
Right.
I didn't watch it. I'm just going off the numbers.
I didn't watch it either. I just know one team didn't incorporate the Rose. So
it looks to me like the run game was the problem. Holy Toledo.
Oregon could not run,
that's because Ohio State's defense is... I mean, they've been this good all year. I mean, they played so good against Michigan, but for some reason their offense couldn't do anything against Michigan. So that was I guess that was their downfall there. But their defense is really good. It's been this good all year.
That's insane.
But
forget. Oregon can run the football, which is saying something about Ohio State's defense because they really can really well. But yeah,
I was gonna say I always forget that sacks in college football take away rushing yards from the quarterback. So I got so scared for a second when I saw a player with negative 43 rushing yards.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel got killed.
Clearly, Jesus.
Clearly,
yeah.
That man is not breathing.
Speaking
Jack
of
Sawyer. Breakout year has been big for Ohio State. He's kind of a loser, but he's a good football player.
Jake, how did Notre Dame beat Georgia? I'm glad it happened, but I don't actually understand.
Carson Beck was out.
Sure.
That was a big part of it.
Oh, it was a kick return. That's the other touchdown.
The big thing with this game is Gunnar Stockton, a man with 0 starts under his belt before this game, coming in to play Notre Dame's defense. It's as simple as that. I think that Georgia could have beaten a worse defense because Gunnar Stockton can do the dink and dunk game, and Georgia's defense could be good enough. I don't know. Notre Dame's offense isn't they stunk for most of this game offensively, because Georgia's defense is really good. But you put a guy like Gunnar Stockton, who again isn't maybe isn't horrible. We don't know much about him because he, again, 0 starts under his belt. You put first college start as a college football playoff game against one of the best defenses in the country. He was doomed, and that was it. But I don't know. Notre Dame might just be really good. I mean, they crushed Indiana, which again, Indiana didn't really belong there, but they crushed Indiana. Didn't have any problems with Georgia at all. Never lost a lead against Georgia, and then now they're dancing to Happy Valley and play the good old Penn State and Nittany Lions, which I'm terrified about.
No, it won't be at Happy Valley.
It's a neutral site.
Yeah.
But that's where Penn State plays.
I know. But it's a good thing it's not at Happy Valley.
For Notre Dame, it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. James Franklin can't win big games, but he's been kind of doing it so far this playoff run. I don't know what to make. But they played Boise and SMU. So I love my boys. I think they're an awesome football team, but this is going to be a real pest for them, having to play this defense. But Penn State's defense is really good, and Riley Leonard I don't know. I don't love Riley Leonard, so.
He threw for less than 100 yards and beat a team.
Yeah.
So I beat Georgia. Threw for less than 100 yards.
But trust me, I think Drew Lar is better than Gunnar Stockton. I hope. I really hope.
Well, this will decide whether he's going to declare this year or not, probably.
Probably. Yeah, because if they make the national championship, I think he's probably going to declare no matter what the result of that game is.
Yeah.
If they win it, he'll be a number 1 overall pick. But I guess that's enough about college football. We talked about it for way longer than I expected to. But that's good. We're expanding. Just like the playoffs in a couple of years.
Not again. I am a hater of the expanded playoff. Did you guys see a couple weeks ago the first round of the playoff that went so bad? The conversation, was it? I can't remember who it was. Joel Klatt, maybe. He posted on Twitter
the NFL thing.
Yeah, comparing it to the 7 seed in the NFL and how last year he was trying to compare the expanded playoffs to the expanded NFL playoffs, and he was like trying to bring up blowouts, and he just compared to last year's NFL playoffs. He was like, look at all these blowouts, and it's like, well, that's actually not normal for the NFL, but also it's a little more exciting because one of those blowouts was a 7 seed beating the shit out of a 2 seed in the NFL, because in the NFL it's all kind of equal. In college, the number 1 team has a much better roster than the number 12 team. That is how that works. In the NFL, they're all NFL players, and that's why there is so much parity, and that's why the Panthers can go beat the Chiefs or almost beat the Chiefs. Whereas, I'm sorry, Wyoming is never going to have a competitive game against Oregon or Alabama or Georgia. Yes, Miller football.
No, you finish your point.
No, that was most of it. But what are we celebrating?
Well, I was going to transition to a whole ass other sport.
Let's go, another sport.
Jimmy Butler has requested a trade. It is open to playing anywhere other than Miami.
Is that real? Because I don't think it is. We've heard Jimmy Butler trade reports before.
Shams
Also,
Shams.
He wants to be traded, but Pat Riley did.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't.
Pat Riley said
he would, but he also hadn't formally requested. Was my thing.
But I also think that he.
I mean, they also asked him earlier today if he's having fun playing in Miami, and he said, or they said, "Would you say, you're having fun playing for the Heat?" And he said, "Probably not." So all I'm saying is Jimmy Butler, San Antonio Spur, has a real good ring to it.
Jimmy Butler back to Minnesota sounds more fun.
No, he hates you all. Jimmy Butler's my favorite player. I want him. I want him back.
No, your favorite player is Victor Wembanyama. You don't get to keep picking a new favorite every week, you weirdo. Your favorite's Kobe White. Your favorite's Victor. Pick one. Right now, pick one.
Okay.
That's it. You get one.
My favorite... I have 3. Fuck
no,
you.
Fuck you.
How many favorite NFL players do you have?
1.
Who?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I like a lot of NFL players, man.
Here's the way I say it, okay? Jimmy Butler is the player that got me into basketball because he was the player on the Bulls that was good, and I was like, wow, I like watching this guy play. Even though, technically speaking, Michael Jordan's the reason I turned on basketball. Wemby's my favorite current player, and Kobe White's my favorite non-Spur in the league. I'm never going to get Kobe White on the Spurs. Give me Jimmy Butler, please.
Why not? The Bulls make bad decisions all the time.
That can win a chip.
Well, I mean,
also,
if the Bulls want to make that bad decision,
he could always do he's got to go fulfill his promise. He told Minnesota they couldn't win without him. Prove it. Come win.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler, again, the reason why he won't be on either of your teams or mine is because he wants to play for a team with a legit chance at a championship this year.
I think the Timberwolves kind of do.
Not without Cat.
No, with Jimmy. We would with Jimmy is the thing. We're good.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he's in that mindset. He'll just go play for the Celtics or something.
No, he's going to be a Laker. He's going to be a Laker.
Oh, and then I'll have to hate him.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Laker, though.
But no, the Spurs are the 9 seed right now. You give them Jimmy, they're easily a top 5 seed, and then go into the playoffs and make a lot of noise. And Jimmy Butler, Victor Wembanyama.
No, because they'd go to the playoffs and Jimmy would just.
Why do you guys both refuse to just say his name correctly?
Because it's way funnier.
Hard.
Yeah.
It's just
Wembanyama. I'm not stupid. It's just way funnier to say Wembanyama.
Well, and I just.
Yeah, I know you know
because he does the Wembanyama, so I just started making fun of him by saying it that way.
And every time I say it, I try to sound stupider. That's my goal.
Why not have a little whimsy in your life, Jacob?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Basketball.
Jimmy Butler and Victor Wembanyama. Does that please you, Jake
anyway.
Jacob discusses athletics. Does this please you?
Anyway.
I don't really care if he's
basketball
pleased.
is a stupid sport that I don't want to talk about.
You don't want to please Jake?
No, not at all.
Dumb sport.
Do you want to pleasure him?
No, not at all.
Fuck you, dude.
I just heard it. You, dude. It didn't pick up. So.
What?
I pick up for you, Geek?
No, it was just you, dude.
So no,
Fuck
so
you, dude.
if you're telling me to pleasure you, I'll pass.
Oh, so okay. Why am I even here? If I'm not going to be getting pleasured, should I even be on this show? I don't know. If I'm not here to get pleasured, what am I here to do?
Where's Grayson when you need him?
I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him.
Too
I
bad.
don't want him.
You
him
want
away.
pleasured. Grayson is your
No, I
only
don't. I don't. No, he's not my own. That cannot be true. If that's true, then there's no reason for me to be here at all. Anywho,
Grayson or he who shall not be named? Which one?
you could be talking about a billion different people when you say that.
The guy who wouldn't win a fantasy league if we started one.
Oh, Grayson, by far. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't. Ugh.
All right. Let's talk about the Chiefs. Is that the right game? What-
No,
who's-
yeah, it is
am I-
actually. Chiefs Steelers.
What week? Yeah, I was right.
Chiefs 29, Steelers 10. I don't know. I guess the biggest part of this is we talked about this a little bit last week, but the Chiefs are getting hot at the right time.
Mhm.
Mahomes and Kelsey are finding their rhythm. This was a good offensive performance against a good defense. I think this is encouraging from an offensive standpoint for the Chiefs because with the way the narratives about the Chiefs have been this year, you would have expected them to come out flat against a good defense. But they came out swinging. And the thing I wanted to point out specifically about the Chiefs in this game, I loved how good the defensive line played without Chris Jones. I loved how solid they were from a pass rush standpoint. I guess I'm not in love with the Steelers offensive line, but still, no Chris Jones, and Russ was uncomfortable the entire game. And that's something worth noting, especially without their best player.
In the playoffs on the AFC side, how many great offensive lines are you facing?
Right.
Like Buffalo's O-line sucks. Baltimore's O-line sucks.
Bad.
The Texans have maybe the worst offensive line in football. The Broncos' offensive line has been weirdly one of like the 5 best units, but that's a little trickeration by Sean Payton forcing Bo Nix to throw it away fast.
I think the Broncos' offensive line is the highest graded one on Pro Football Network.
But I think that's just because how quick they are.
Yeah.
The Bucks, but yeah.
I think Chargers.
Because like the Vikings are rated as one of the bottom 4, and while they're not that good, they're not that bad. The issue is Sam Darnold likes to hold the ball.
if the Chargers had rosterable interior linemen, they'd be one of the best in the league. Because they have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Like,
if you took the Chiefs interior and put them in LA, or you took the Chargers tackles and put them in Kansas City,
they would both be the best
line in football by a country mile.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane how these two teams have built complete inverses of each other's lines.
Yeah, and the NFC is like the complete opposite. Like most of the NFC top contending teams have phenomenal offensive lines.
Yeah.
Like the Lions and the Eagles are both top 5 in their pass protection grades.
Really good.
The Packers' offensive line is playing really good. Tampa's is also a top 5 offensive
Minnesota's
line
is
as well as graded. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
They're probably the worst. Like, it's not gonna cost us games, but like it's not gonna win us games like Phillies.
I mean, I guess I have not been watching the Commanders' O line very much, but they're a playoff team.
They have
so
some
really
pieces.
know.
I was gonna say it's surprisingly good.
Because
I thought it was
good?
Sam Cosmi's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Cosby's a big
deal. Point being, if you're the Chiefs going into the AFC playoffs, Chris Jones I think will be back for the playoffs, but I think with the way their pass rush played without him, you should be very optimistic about how your pass rush will do with him and alongside him as you march into places where you're not really gonna have to deal with that much adversity on the offensive line. And the Steelers are just skidding, dude. That's 3 straight losses. They're really struggling. And I mean, I think I'm saying what we all knew, but there's just not a team who's gonna like press any of the top teams. You know, they play the Ravens close because the Ravens are a divisional opponent. But if they have to go to Buffalo or Kansas City at any point, which if they want to make a run, they're going to have to go to one of those 2 places, or even Baltimore. They're
right
cooked.
now they're.
I mean,
where are they going? They're going to go. Oh, well, that's
And
lucky
I'm
for
almost
them.
positive they have to go to Houston.
It
Because
will
Houston's
be
the worst
Houston.
division winner, and they're going to be the highest wild card
Are they going
at the current moment.
to?
So
No, the Steelers
because-
or not the Chargers could be. Chargers win, Steelers lost. The
I think at
Chargers
the
are the
current
highest.
moment,
Yeah.
Steelers would be going to Houston. If they go to Houston, they get lucky because their pass rush will eat that offensive line
Yeah.
alive, and CJ Stroud will be forced to get the ball out quick, which isn't going to work. But who's the 3 seed? If they're the
Baltimore.
6 seed, where they have to go? Oh, well, they won't be Baltimore. So if they fall out of their current playoff position, I think it's a pretty clear first round exit for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think they're skidding. They're doing the opposite of what the Chiefs are doing. They're completely
Yeah.
falling apart at the wrong moment.
Well, the Steelers
You know,
lack in this
it's in a-
in this very important position. It's quarterback. Russ has been better than I expected, but he's not Russ, and you can tell.
He's the gimmick. He has one
he's-
gimmick, and any great DC is going to see that gimmick and stop it. There's a reason why Pickens only had 3 for 50. I know only 3 for 50 is like kind of a shitty thing to say, but like by his standards, it should be like 4 for 127 with this type of game where you're, especially with Russ, where you just want him throwing moonball. That gimmick isn't hard to stop, especially when you have big time playmakers in your secondary like Kansas City
The
does,
Steelers
and like a lot of the teams of the AFC do.
Yeah.
So it's going to be even Houston has like there are
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
their
problems. with the
secondary's
team. Their
sick.
secondary would fuck up the
Oh, dude,
Steelers offense.
Stingley
Russ-
isn't letting Pickens have a catch.
Stingley, the safeties are going to be all over the place.
Well,
Lassiter
Houston,
would do
you got to
great
be
against
concerned
this.
for the safeties because Petrie and
Are they out
Ward?
long term? Like,
I
are
think
they
they're both
not coming
done.
back to the pay? Really?
I thought so, yeah.
He's done.
Well, I
don't know
was
about
thinking
Ward.
of rookie USC Bullock.
Oh,
Caleb
yeah,
Bullock,
yeah.
I think would be able to make big plays
Yeah.
against
And-
the secondary. I like Caleb Bullock a lot.
The thing that kills the Steelers right now is that they have George Pickens and then nobody. You don't have another
Yeah.
option for Russ to
They're
use.
sup- They're
And
supposed to be
They don't really have like the, I don't know, like the Wandale, Rondale Moore, like
they're supposed to be getting their guy back.
gadgety slot guy.
Roman Wilson. The
oh
rookie
yeah, I forgot
from
he
Michigan.
existed.
He's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back
yeah.
to the playoffs.
Roman Wilson can be a good.
Has he
good
played a game
compliment
this year
to-
though?
I don't
I don't think
think
so.
So he's going to debut
Yeah.
in the playoffs, and we're going to expect him to be basically wide receiver 1 because Pickens is going to get tripled, and they're going to say, please beat us with somebody else.
I'm just
This,
saying,
this
like,
is going to be a legacy moment for Roman Wilson. He's either going to set some crazy bullshit, or it's going to be the worst thing ever.
Roman
for him.
Wilson is fast and shifty, and
Yeah,
he's a good compliment. He's just a better Calvin Austin.
yeah.
The
The Steelers just need a QB.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
going to keep saying this for 100 years because they're going to be too good to ever go draft one. They need a
Yeah.
QB, man.
Welcome to
I wanna-
Pittsburgh, Carson Beck.
Honestly,
no,
welcome to Pitt. I could see Pittsburgh being the team that like tries to go get Darnold
yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
because he's shown
Or
he
they're gonna
can
end up
run
with
an
JJ.
offense. Yeah, that's not happening. Good job. You fell for an NFL rumors report.
No, I'm. This is
The
me trying to
Schefter thing. Oh,
manifest
okay.
it.
Yeah, no.
I don't give a fuck about NFL rumors. I'm trying to
No,
manifest
so
it.
somebody sent me the NFL rumors post where they're like, via Adam Schefter, the Vikings are going to actively listen to calls on JJ. And no, Schefter said the Vikings were going to receive calls, just like they all said
Yeah.
they were going to receive calls about Justin Jefferson. And much like last year, Kwesi's going to answer the phone and go, no, and hang up the phone.
I was gonna say, I'm sure people receive calls on players all the time. I'm sure the Chiefs have received calls on Patrick Mahomes.
Right. The Bears are
There's that
have
one
probably
psycho out
received
there.
calls on Caleb already.
Yeah.
Just like, what are you doing there? You know?
Yeah.
You know?
What would it take? Hypothetically, if I got you drunk enough, Ryan Poles, what would it take?
Ryan Poles, just the day
Or
before
Ryan
you
Pol-
get fired,
Ryan
you want to
Poles-
trade him.
Or Ryan Poles is so mad at the Bears and how dysfunctional they are.
Yes.
As one last FU to the Bears, he trades Caleb Williams for a bag of chips and then he just leaves.
That would be
live
incredible.
stream on this channel me ending my miserable existence. That would be
I don't
on
know.
the internet
Could you imagine what
forever.
Ryan pulls if Ryan pulls was like, you know what? I hate this organization. Here, Joe Douglas, you have your quarterback of the future.
I would
Welcome to the
take
New York
him.
Jets, Caleb Williams.
All
I
right.
can't
didn't hear
make the
what you
joke I
said,
want to make
but
because
it
it'll
couldn't
make
have
me
been
sound like
good.
a terrorist.
Okay, dude.
Well, no, 'cause
Anyway,
now, in today's day and age, you say anything slightly facetious and everyone thinks you're a horrible person. So
Yeah, who cares though? Just
no, I don't
become the
care,
monster
but-
they
moving on to
want
the
you to be.
second Christmas game, bad one. Ravens 31, Texans 2.
Texans on the
Um,
naughty list. I'm crying.
Yeah, so here are the notes that I wrote down for this game. 1, Lamar is the MVP. I will not hear
Mhm.
otherwise. 2, Bobby Slowick is trying to kill CJ Stroud. 3, or kill his career, I should say. 3, Ravens offense elite. Those are the 3 things that I wrote down. And I think they're all
Who's
true.
trying to kill CJ Stroud?
Bobby Slowick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I guess their offensive line too. You can kind of group those two together. But the play calling is atrocious.
I have a
at the
question
current
for you
moment.
guys, real quick.
Mhm.
Do you know who wears number 6 for the Baltimore Ravens and had 1 catch for 16 yards this week?
My brain immediately said Patrick Queen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
No,
too.
they've been
Yeah, see,
freed
that's
from
what
him
that's
just to get
what
a
he
worse
wore.
number 6.
Is it somebody? Has he been in the NFL for more than 5 years? Do you think? You know?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
Who the fuck did they sign?
Oh, so
He
he's
was
like
on
a
one
he's
of
like
our
a
teams.
He did what?
Had 1 catch for
Isn't it-
16 yards. He was on one of our teams. Has been in the league for at least 5 years. Second round pick.
I almost said Amir Smith Marset, but
Played at Memphis.
you'd be more upset.
Does the team he played for wear green?
No.
No,
Memphis wide receiver.
he wrote a letter
Oh,
to NFL GMs.
I'm
before
never
the
gonna
draft.
name his first name. I'm never gonna get his first name, but his last name is Miller.
Oh, Anthony Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get his first
He had
name. but
1
his last
catch
name
for
is Miller.
16 yards.
Why is he on a
note
football
to the-
field?
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey,
Yo,
But
Keaton
he's-
Mitchell.
it's probably-
Keaton Mitchell sighting. I wasn't watching
Probably
this game that much.
garbage time for.
Yeah.
It was like ambiance background while all my
So-
family was hanging out,
It
and I was not keen to pay attention to it.
It was in the background. I like looked up every once in a while, and every time I looked up, Lamar was doing some crazy shit. Like the read option
I
that he
didn't
took
really look up
50
a
yards.
ton,
I looked
but
up and saw that. I'm like, all right, dude.
the game was off by the time he did that. I think in my household, but all I remember is so I wasn't watching the game. I was in like the kitchen or something. I just hear my grandpa start freaking out, and I walk in the room and Lamar was doing that like little BS touchdown to Likely where he was just like dancing around and standing still, and I was just like, dude, this is unreal.
Oh, dude, Lamar is
yeah.
the GOAT.
my experience with this game was I started like we had it on, and then like 20 minutes in, my youngest sister comes in, looks at the score, and goes, "Can we watch The Grinch? This sucks." So we ended up
Valid.
watching The Grinch in place of the game, and every couple minutes I'd look down at my phone, get a notification, be like, "Hey Dad, look at this," and he'd be like, "Wow." And
Oh,
that was how
wow.
we watched
Which
the game.
one?
We watched highlights on Twitter.
Which Grinch? Benedict Cumberbatch, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, we watched the live action Grinch, and my biggest takeaway from that movie is that I want to punt that fucking baby Grinch so bad. I hate it.
Baby Grinch is so weird.
It's
Baby
horrid.
Grinch is the.
I hate
We
it.
watch that movie every year at some point. My family, the two staples of my family. I don't know why the Grinch is. I love it. I think Jim Carrey is awesome in that movie.
Uh-huh.
The Jim Carrey Grinch and then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Mine are
the
National
two ones that my
Lampoons.
family watch every year.
Mine are National Lampoons, A Christmas Story, and 8 Crazy Nights. My family sits down and watches those 3. at the
I've
very
never
end.
seen 8 Crazy Nights.
Dude, it's
I've never seen it.
so good.
That's
I
the
love
Bum
it
Bitty Bitty
personally.
Bum Song
Yeah,
movie, right?
I love
yeah,
8 Crazy
okay.
Nights.
8 Crazy
What's
Nights
your
love
favorite
is
Christmas
fine.
movie?
It ages
that it?
poorly. Like, I won't lie. It's
Yeah.
got that early
Well,
2000s
I mean,
humor, but if
yeah.
you look past that, it's good.
I was gonna say
I
one
like
of
it.
my one movie I really enjoy is Boondock Saints, and let me tell you that aged poorly.
Yeah. My dad really likes that movie. I've never seen it, but
You
he
should
told me
watch
to
it.
watch it.
Uh,
It's got Norman Reedus in it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure Miller won't want to talk
My
about this
favorite
next
Christmas
game for very long, but it. Oh wait, I thought the Boondock Saints was a Christmas movie. And that's
No,
why you said that. Is it
no,
not?
no.
Okay,
No.
what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Honestly, I don't like any Christmas movies that much. So I'm just
Say
gonna go
Iron Man 2.
Hawkeye. No,
Oh,
Hawkeye.
that also works.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
But
also
yeah, I'm
works.
sure Miller will not want to talk about this game for very long. But it's an NFL game that happened, and so we must. Worst game of the year: Seahawks 6, Bears 3.
Oh God.
Good.
That was
good
this week?
Lord. My only note was that I had two notes. One, LOL. Two, Seahawks eliminated. Deserved. They suck. Those are the two things I took away from this game.
Technically, the
They were
Seahawks weren't
on
eliminated yet.
Sunday. Yes, but they are now. At the time of recording, they've been eliminated from playoff contention, and that's good because they're terrible and don't deserve to be there. But Miller, any major takeaways from this one?
The
on
only
your
thing
end?
I'm gonna say is if Jake Curran didn't exist, Caleb Williams is the best highlight out of any rookie quarterback this year. That touchdown to Roma Dunze that got called back, where he literally went fucking Air Jordan in the air and threw the ball like had his arm all the way out and had to throw it straight, was fucking unreal. And that stupid fat bastard ruined it because he doesn't know how to block, and I hate him.
That's all you got?
That's
I'm fine
literally
with
all.
that,
I
but
mean,
that's
what
all
else
you
do you
got?
want me to say? It's the
Nothing.
fucking
I'm not
Bears,
expecting
man.
anything else from you.
Caleb
And
finally
not only is
threw
it
a
the Bears,
pick.
but it's the Bears in this game.
Yeah,
Like the
dude,
worst.
Did you see the pick?
No. I
It was
did,
bad.
Oh my
I
god! Listen,
looked at this game, watched for like 3 drives, and just saw 3 punts and
Oh
went,
yeah, the
"Oh,
pick
this
was
is
that.
fucking stupid,"
Okay,
and turned it off
the-
and went to my room.
The pick was that fourth
Play of the
down
game.
one that he like threw a
yeah,
prayer.
final
right?
play of the game,
Yeah,
fourth
yeah,
down. The Seahawks overload the right side of the line. The Bears do nothing to combat it
Nope.
and say, "Caleb,
yeah.
go."
Not pick it
And
up.
he has to run backward, and as he's fucking falling back, tosses one straight up in the air. And whoever it was, I think it was Woolen, right? He just like
Ulrich,
fucking caught it
yeah.
like a punt. Like it's the most
No.
like it was one of those.
He
It
just-
shouldn't count as a fucking interception, dude.
He didn't
It's
catch it
not
like a
his
punt.
fault.
He out jumped 90-year-old Keenan Allen for it.
Oh,
It was like a jump ball scenario, and Keenan Allen
so
went up too. But
even
he was able to thankfully out jump 90-year-old Keenan Allen to
Yeah.
get the pick.
So
But-
even despite the Bears wanting to kill Caleb on that play, he made it a catchable pass. And
Keenan Allen
Keenan
had
Allen goes.
every shot at that. Yeah, he didn't have
The
it.
throw he had on
too
fourth
bad it
down
wasn't
to DJ
Rome
Moore was
Odunze
crazy.
over there.
Crazy. Yeah.
Rome had a couple of nice
Rome
plays.
or
This game-
DJ.
Hey, I saw Caleb's non-touchdown touchdown that would have won them
That's
the
what
game.
that's
That
what
one
I
was
was
sick.
talking about.
Just talked
That one
about
was
That's
that.
what I'm
sick.
saying.
Yeah.
If that would have counted, it's the best highlight any rookie has this year. I don't care. The way he had to contort his body to make that throw was fucking unreal. That is, that's a little Mahomey. That is literally Mahomey.
Yeah.
But anyways, fuck
But yeah,
the
the
Bears.
Seahawks are
I'm
bad,
so
dude. Yeah.
I'm so ready
Glad
for
they're
Ben
eliminated,
Johnson.
bro.
I'm
Yeah,
so
Ben
ready for
Johnson
Ben Johnson.
probably coming to Chicago, but you can never trust that front office to make
Lions
to do the
fans
right thing.
keep
So who
saying
knows?
no.
Yeah,
That
well,
Ben Johnson will be a Lion forever. And honestly,
Lions fans
I
could
would
suck
love-
my
okay.
dick.
I would love to finally have an offensive coordinator that actually just went, you know what? Not they failed as a head coach and came back. I just want to see one time an offensive coordinator just be like, no, I just want to run an offense, man.
I hope we see that too, just not him.
But I also kind of don't
That's
hope
what,
we see
like,
it because I don't know.
Liam
That's what
Cohen.
like
Liam Cohen, this could be you. You could stay in Tampa and bake with Baker forever.
that's what like Arthur Smith should do. Just never.
See, but he's
become
already been a
coach
head
again.
coach, so
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not
Yeah,
Yeah,
counting.
but I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
just
you
like
gotta
never
learn from your
try.
mistakes.
I just want
Oh.
somebody who just like
Yeah.
doesn't want to. They're like, that sounds like a lot of extra work.
Well, I guess
Uh,
Bieniemy tried, but he never got it.
Yeah.
And then he
But
just
anyway,
stopped being an
um,
OC. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
He
moving on
went
to
to
Saturday,
college and
which
sucked.
It's so weird. He should have stayed as an OC because he made people think Sam Howell was a real quarterback.
Yeah.
Like the enemy
yeah.
should have been like, look at what I did with that fucking idiot right there, that one. All right.
Saturday saved us a little bit. The first game didn't, but Chargers 40, Patriots 7. Good lord. Yeah, Patriots. This is a win for the Patriots. Drake May played good, and this loss jumped them to the #1 overall pick via Sunday's games. So overall, good loss. Quarterback didn't play terrible. Had a great ball on a free play. Good recognition of the free play. Put one up there to from the North legend Pop Douglas, who made a good catch on it. Good free play ball. Yeah, Drake May played good, and they lost, and they moved in the number 1 overall pick, and probably got this is the Gerard Mayo is gone game. Hopefully,
Yeah.
losing by 33. This should be the game that they can point at and be like, "This is why we fired Gerard Mayo," and hopefully hired Mike Vrabel. That would be a good pick for them, I think. But
Thank you for the
as long as
insight,
it's not the
Captain Moral
Bears.
Victory.
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear a lot about moral victories later.
Okay, Miller, is there anything that you can take from what I just said and disagree with?
Oh, I just like
No,
pointing
but
out
you
that you're
you definitely are Captain Moral Victory.
and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. It's just you are very quick to
I'm
point it out.
Captain
Because moral
Semantics.
victories exist.
They
just
do.
Yeah.
They do, and you appreciate
What I
them.
just said is exactly
It's
what the Patriots
objectively
front
true.
office was just saying.
It's
and what the
objectively
Patriots
true.
coaching staff is saying, and their
Yeah.
fans are saying.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're always the one to point out moral victories. You have a special appreciation for them. I like fullbacks, geek like semantics, you like moral victories. It's okay. We all have our thing. Yours is very
Whatever,
positive.
dude.
It's very vindictive of the person you are, Jake. You're a very kind, uplifting soul, and that is shown by your
Thank you,
love of
Miller.
moral victories.
Thank you, Miller.
Yeah.
Fuck
You're
you,
welcome.
Geek. Thank you, Miller.
What did I do?
Also, speaking
You say
of
more.
uplifting,
You call me moral victory man in a negative way.
Well, because
Miller
I only ever
Miller
call
doesn't.
you that when you're bringing up moral victories in a way that isn't really a moral victory. I'm sure we'll get to that later.
Yeah, you cheer
So-
for a bad football team. I can't listen to you.
J.K. Dobbins is the GOAT.
I was gonna say,
He's
can we
good.
all agree that J.K. Dobbins should be comeback player of the year? Like, I know
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't view it that way,
Wait,
but like
who does
pretty
Vegas?
easily.
Who's Vegas picking?
Burrow.
DeMar
So
Hamlin.
it won't
No,
be
DeMar
J.K.
Hamlin is the betting favorite.
Right now,
Again.
I'm looking at Vegas Insider.
Oh,
So,
I saw
who was it?
something on Twitter that DeMar Hamlin was the betting favorite.
Right now,
I was tripping.
What I'm looking at,
Yeah,
it
so-
has Burrow, Darnold, Dobbins, Cousins.
Darnold
Hamlin
can't
is the
even
top
win it.
5.
They changed the rule last year. Darnold cannot
Darnold
win
can't
it.
win it.
Like, he legitimately cannot. He will not get a vote
Well,
He's
people
not
put
allowed
money on it.
because people are stupid. Well, it's because the NFL keeps changing the way comeback player of the year works. They need to just make a most improved player award. Like, actually, genuinely. Because Geno shouldn't have been comeback player. Baker shouldn't have been. Flacco shouldn't have been. Darnold shouldn't be comeback player. But they all deserve something. Like, actually, they do. But, like, DeMar Hamlin shouldn't be getting votes this year, and that's not hate on DeMar. He should have won last year.
Yeah,
This is stupid.
But
it should be
But
Dobbins.
yes,
Anyway,
J.K. Dobbins. Maybe
yeah.
Burrow, I would
J.K.
understand
Dobbins
because he
really
got
good.
hurt, but last year, so that's fair.
yeah.
Burrow, you has an argument.
Also, I really like I really like Darius Davis
Yeah,
think he's
Darius
fun.
Davis is nice with it.
He's aight.
and Lad McConkey. Lad is so good, dude. Lad is exactly what the Chargers needed.
Uh-huh.
I still think the Chargers
yeah,
just need a
so,
true
big
one.
time.
Because Darius is fun. QJ can be your just, like, deep shot guy.
They also need a tight end.
What's stopping
That would help
Lad
too.
from being the one?
I think Lad can be the one easily.
I don't know. Maybe he can be. I don't
He's
know.
up over 1,000 yards, has 7 touchdowns.
Tyler
yes.
Lockett has gone for 1,000 yards and 7
I know,
touchdowns a lot, too.
but Yeah, but Lad has literally a third of their receiving production. It's literally like
Yeah.
29.985% or something. I
That-
was doing
yeah,
the math
and-
today because I was gonna make a Pro Bowl video and say he got snubbed, and then I was like, wait, I don't want to talk about the Pro Bowl. That's fucking boring. But
This isn't-
Lad is like
Yeah.
legit for the
Wait,
Chargers, dude.
so who
This
did
isn't
the
like
Pro Bowl
a-
rosters get announced?
This morning,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did Juice make it over CJ Ham?
Yes,
Why?
because
He's better.
player and coach vote.
That's dumb.
No, not really. He's the better player.
I don't care that he's the better player. He has not had the better year.
By what? I mean, the Vikings have won more, but on film, Juice has been the more impressive player.
Wins
Disagree.
are a fullback stat.
Disagree. Wins
Geek,
are.
I'm
I'm pushing the wins are a
Okay.
fullback stat narrative, and if you disagree, Miller, you're a fake fullback fan. So shut the fuck up.
You don't get to make that decision.
I
first of
do.
all.
I
Nothing-
just did.
Okay,
Respect
first of all,
your
second of all,
elders.
I'm asking this genuinely. How much fullback all 22 have you watched this year?
Like
I can guess.
CJ
I
Ham.
can guess.
No, I've actually watched
How
them.
much
A lot of CJ,
I
like
don't
all of
doubt that you
CJ Ham.
have.
All of
I don't
CJ
doubt that
Ham.
you
That's
have.
it though.
How much
CJ
have you
Ham.
watched of Juice?
None. Because why would I watch the 49ers? They're bad at everything.
Because
You're admitting to
you're
not
making
knowing.
outlandish
You don't
claims
know.
and you, need to be
You
able to
don't
back
get
them.
it.
I
You're
just don't
literally
care about-
saying that your take is
Kyle
baseless.
Juszczyk doesn't deserve it this time.
But
He's going to be a Pro Bowler and an All Pro for no real reason other than people remember the name Kyle Juszczyk.
And because he's the best in the business.
He has been. Give me CJ Ham.
And he was this
Give me
year.
CJ Ham.
Honestly, I would argue the bigger snub was Scott Matlock over Pat Ricard.
You know what? Fair enough.
If
I
we
don't
want to talk about a fullback snub, that would be where my money's at. But I get it with Ricard because he blocked for Henry, and Henry's second in the league in rushing yards.
I just have to keep yelling for CJ Ham. This is CJ Ham
I'll
erasure.
I'll put
I
it
think
this
Miller
way.
would have been okay.
I was going to say,
Oh,
if
he was
Ham
okay
made
if
it,
it was
I
Ham
wouldn't be
too.
complaining. I'm
We had
just
this
saying, I don't,
conversation already.
right.
'Cause-
I think both were deserving.
Yeah.
It just sucks that the NFL is
That's-
stupid
yeah.
and only lets you have one.
You know what's
Here's
dumber?
the real talk.
Can I?
2 fullbacks
Yeah.
per conference.
I
Start
agree.
next year.
Because it's literally because the third best fullback in football gets left out of everything all the time.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. Because CJ
Yeah.
Ham he's gotten to be a Pro Bowler twice. You know why? Because Juszczyk went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, I think I would have been happy as long as Carson Steele didn't make it.
Real quick.
That
So,
that
just
was
kind
my
of
big concern
my
because he won
thing.
the fan vote.
because
Yeah.
well, no.
Yeah.
He won the fan vote for the AFC.
Yes.
Because CJ Ham
Yes.
won it for the NFC.
Well,
That's why
yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't him. But so the fullback thing, when Miller tweeted that, he said, "I hope the players and coaches come in clutch because y'all fucked up the fullback vote." All I saw was CJ Ham at 1, and I'm like, why the fuck are we disrespecting CJ Ham? He's
No,
like,
I'm
no, this
totally
was
okay
this was
with him.
Carson Steele hate. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a Carson Steele tweet. Because listen, I love Carson Steele. Don't get me wrong. I love him as one of my own. However, he has not been on the level as like 5 of the other fullbacks.
Right.
Like I would say out of the
Yeah.
fullbacks, he's performed the worst as a blocker. And I don't give a fuck what he does with the ball in his hands because that's not modern fullbacking.
See,
Unless he's like Mike Allstott out there,
Right.
which he's not, then I don't give a fuck.
nah, see, but
Yeah.
does he have the clutch gene? CJ Ham does.
Oh, because he got that he
The
sealed
first
the
down,
Vikings
yeah.
game with the first down.
The first down
Yeah.
that didn't seal the game.
Well,
That's
No,
the
Carson-
one he
we
got.
had to
Steele
get
has a couple
2. He got
fumbles
one of
this
them.
year. Yeah,
So
Steele has like a couple costly fumbles this year, if I'm not
Shout out
mistaken.
Cam Akers for actually
No.
sealing the game.
true.
I goat.
The only guy I've
Um,
ever seen a team trade for twice. Every year, Minnesota just halfway through the year goes, you know what? We need Cam Akers back. Let's do that again.
Quessy on the
Moving
phone.
on to
I
the,
can't quit you.
Right? He tries to. He lets him walk, and then he's like, wait, baby, come back.
Cam Akers is probably so mad, dude. He's like, dude, if I have to keep buying houses in Minnesota and selling them again, like,
Just imagine a world where next year the Vikings draft Ashton Jeanty. He's having like a historic year. Halfway through the
trade for
year, they're
Cam
like,
Akers.
Cam, we
He
need
becomes a
you.
starter.
Jeanty has 1,500 yards and it's week 8, but Cam.
But Cam.
Cam will seal a meaningless regular season game in December. We need him.
I definitely don't think it was meaningless. If we
I'm just saying
lose,
in
we don't get a
general.
shot at the one. Oh, okay. I thought you were taking a shot at this game. I was like, this game mattered.
On a at 4:25 on Sunday, December 18th, Cam Akers will seal the game against the 0-17 Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Real ball. Speaking of
Pretty
Anyway.
well.
like moving on to games that matter and were good.
Was
Broncos,
there one?
Bengals
Oh,
fucked.
yeah.
Broncos
That
Bengals.
was-
Broncos
fucked.
30, Broncos 24. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Who is the Bengals kicker? Cade York almost sold
Uh-huh.
it. That was bad. A couple things that I wrote down. Marvin Mims. I really like Marvin Mims.
Mhm.
He showed off that he can be a deep threat, but also he mossed 2 Cincinnati defenders.
That
for
was
the-
such a
the
sick catch. I
absolute-
was so happy it was
absolute
Marvin.
Gotta have it touchdown. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is that outside of Patrick Surtain, the Broncos have a serious issue at corner, and it needs to be fixed
But
because they're going to face.
Riley Moss is so good, according to the one Broncos fan we talked to
Well,
on
I
the
understand.
regular.
I understand it was T. Higgins, and like he's good, but like I don't know, like
T. Higgins is a little more than good. He's a wide receiver one on like 30 teams, or not 30 teams,
Right,
but
but,
like 20
like
teams.
I
all I'm
need
saying
New
is
England to
that
throw him a bag, bro.
Riley Moss, they have an issue in Riley Moss. I do not think he's a lockdown corner. And Patrick Surtain is very good, and Jamar Chase was not as big of a factor as he would have been had they been playing somebody else. But if, like, again, like if they're playing a team in the playoffs, which, again, it's up in the air because they lost this game, but if they're playing a team in the playoffs who has a solid wide receiver too, which a lot of the AFC teams do, do you trust Riley Moss to make a play and stop them on like a clutch play? I don't know.
Broncos fans say
That's
yes.
that's like my only concern with the Broncos defense is non-Patrick Surtain related corners. But I think Patrick Surtain is good enough on his own because even with Riley Moss getting flamed, they almost won this game. So
I was gonna
who
say
knows? Maybe Patrick Surtain locking up the wide receiver one of every team is good enough.
the bigger concern for Denver for me, I think, is still their offense. I don't trust them. They played fine against the worst defense in football. I don't. That doesn't mean much to me. Like,
Yeah, the Broncos can't really run the football,
No.
and that's an issue.
Yeah.
They can't run the football. They're not physical enough in the trenches to have a
Quinn
solid running
Miners,
game.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
Quinn
so
Miners and then
that's tough
sometimes
because
Garrett Bowles when he decides
because
he's
again,
good.
dude, like the Broncos' offensive line is good, like grade wise and on paper, but like when that offensive line goes up against Kansas City or if they run into Pittsburgh, like that they're not going to move the ball a yard on the ground,
Yeah.
right? And Bo Nix is going to have to get the ball out quick against those teams, and even quicker than normal. And I don't know, do you trust him to be the pinpoint accurate getting the ball out quick? I guess that remains to be seen because the Bengals'
Yeah.
defensive line doesn't have much motion at the current moment. So
Also,
Yeah.
since this is the game everybody's been talking about, or these are the two teams everybody talks about for the playoffs, I know Miami still technically has a shot, but nobody cares. Nobody wants it to be Miami because at least Denver and Cincinnati have something going for them. Cincinnati's offense is sick. They could go beat somebody. And Denver's defense is sick. They could go beat somebody. Miami's not beating anybody, so I think that's the funnier team to put in.
You don't want to see Snoop Huntley and Jonnu Smith in the playoffs?
No,
You're telling me you don't think that tandem can make some noise?
no.
I want to see John Smith in the playoffs. I can't lie.
I don't want to see Miami go to Buffalo for the first playoff game. That is a blowout, and that is boring.
Mitch Trubisky playoff snaps would go so hard.
Dude.
Honestly, dude,
I
He
honestly,
want Miami
I
to go to
would,
Buffalo.
I would forbid
Okay.
Josh Allen from playing if I was the NFL and Miami got in. They have to start Trubisky. Josh
I bet
I
Allen
want
can come in.
Miami to go to Buffalo,
Still
dude.
drops a 30-piece on their
Only-
dome.
I know.
only because it would be so funny if they won.
Yeah,
They went
dude.
in and beat Buffalo.
It would be
my
so
anti-Bills
sick.
agenda would be thriving in that sense. I need
Miller
that to
would be
happen.
so upset. It'd be so
I
funny.
need that to happen. Need that to happen. It's not even an anti-Bills agenda because of Miller. I just hate the Bills.
No, I know.
And that's,
But, like,
I've always
the
have.
the Bills
But,
thing, the Bills are more more worried if it's Denver or Cincinnati because they're good at something.
Sure.
They can do something.
Yeah.
Denver has a sick defense, and Cincinnati has a sick offense. You're not afraid of Miami. What do they got? Nothing. I don't know. They got the dumbest coach in football right now, apparently.
Antonio Pierce?
He's won a game in the last 6 years, so I'll take him.
Pretty sure that if the Dolphins are fighting to get the playoffs, I'm pretty sure they've won at least a game in the past 6 years.
I may have been over exaggerating a little.
Something tells me you have a flawed argument here, Senator.
Senator. All right.
But yeah, last this is a Saturday game.
Hold on, I
Rams
want to throw
Cardinals, the
something
Saturday
out
game?
real quick.
No.
I want to throw
Yes.
something out real quick. I'm going to read you some numbers for a player. I want you to tell me if you think this is at least a Pro Bowl caliber player, if not an All Pro caliber player,
no.
right? Because
Here
you
we
guys
go.
know I don't fuck with the Pro Bowl, but this grinds my gears. This player is 12th in the league in sacks with 8.5, or tied for 12th, I should say. They are 7th among defensive linemen in pressures with 65. If we go to run stops, they are 4th in the league with 52, tied for 4th. This player made multiple key defensive stops in this game, had a big sack on Burrow in overtime, ended up walking away with a career-high 2.5 sacks, and has been like the engine of the Denver Broncos defense alongside Pat Surtain.
How
It's
is
just
2.5 sacks Zach Allen's career high?
I'm pretty sure, or not 2.5, what was it, 3.5?
Oh, I was gonna say.
Am I wrong
I
here?
don't know.
It was his career high, whatever
Why
it was.
isn't he a Pro Bowler?
2.5 just seems low for.
Yeah, why isn't he a Pro Bowler?
Because was he listed as an edge rusher or
Interior defensive line.
because
interior defensive line?
Yes.
looking
Who made it over him?
yeah,
I did not look at the rosters. I do not care.
Yeah, I don't actually know because
Okay, Zach Allen has been the best interior defensive lineman in the AFC this year. He's up against
Who made it over him?
Cam Hayward, Chris Jones, and Nnamdi Madubuike. He's been better than Beaks at the very least this year. This is coming from this podcast's biggest Nnamdi Madubuike fan.
I don't know. He didn't make it in because I don't know, I don't know.
He has more
No, I love
sacks
Zach
than
Allen.
all of them. If we go to pressures, he has more pressures than all of them, including Chris Jones. If we go to run stops, he has more than everyone except for Cam Hayward. Let's see here. Where's TFLs when you need them? I don't know why. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but NFL Pro does not list TFLs, and I find that interesting.
Hmm.
He has... There are a lot of people tied with DFLs.
We're looking at the AFC. My bad.
Yeah.
I was like,
Let's see
he's not even on the list, or the guys you're saying aren't even on the list. Well, Chris Jones got in because name recognition. Cam Hayward is awesome, so I get that.
Mhm.
If you're saying he should have made it over Beaks, then fine, but also this is where name recognition matters more. And nobody knew who Zach Allen was until maybe this year.
No,
And even this year, they still don't.
I understand that.
And
I understand why he didn't make it. I know
also,
it's
for
name recognition.
coach and
bullshit.
player vote, it is coaches and players saying, we've played them. Nnamdi's better. That's it.
Bad take.
No, I think the so dude's had one good year finally after 6 years in the league, and he's better than Nnamdi.
He's not a better player. He's had a better season. Wasn't that your argument with CJ Ham?
Yeah. I'm just saying the same thing you did, which is Nnamdi's been better, so the players and coaches voted
Also,
for it.
the
Get over
reason
it.
why
was
Zach
also-
Allen.
Actually, I also pointed out that Juszczyk has been better this season,
Nope.
which is why he got in. He has been.
And
though.
also, the reason why Zach Allen
You haven't watched him. You can't say.
is
I
a
can say
Denver
whatever I
Bronco
want.
and is on the contract that he's
Lying.
on, is because he had a super solid year in Arizona the year before. So he's not had one good year. He was super solid in Arizona last year.
Super
And also,
solid.
like-
Yes.
He's been the
Free
second
agent
best
conversation.
defensive player on a team that's being pulled into the playoffs by their defense, and the other guy made it. I'm
Hmm.
just saying, I feel like both should be representing. Because genuinely speaking, Zach Allen, like, I know we're just looking at stats, but like, if you're watching the game, Zach Allen has been a constant disruptor. He's been massive for this defense. He has made guys like Surtain's job a hell of a lot easier. He's having like an all-pro caliber season, and he couldn't even make the Pro Bowl. It's silly. And
No,
just so we don't go through the same
Denver
charade
tax.
later, Daniil, yeah, which is dumb.
It's deserved.
But I'm
Fuck
also
Denver.
going to say the same thing happened to Daniil Hunter in Houston, where he also should have been a Pro Bowler.
Wait, he's
and
not
was
a
not.
Pro Bowler?
No. Max Crosby made it over him with worse stats across the board.
Literally every one of the edge rushers in the AFC has worse stats across the board.
Garrett and Hendrickson have more sacks by 2, but that's it. I'm just saying.
How did
someone
Trey?
in the comments will put that.
I'm gonna freak out if Trey Hendrickson gets another undeserved Pro Bowl.
Why? He's been awesome this year.
Don't care.
He's leading the league in sacks, is second in the league in pressures, has a bunch of TFLs.
Yeah, how is that undeserved? He's
He
leading the
only-
league in
he's
almost
like-
every major
He's the
defensive
only
stat
player in
as an edge
Cincinnati.
rusher.
He doesn't deserve nothing.
He's stuck on the worst defense in football, and he's been the best defensive end in the league statistically. I don't see where the problem is here.
I don't know. I'm just sick of Trey Hendrickson. Why does he get talked about and Daniil doesn't?
I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know. I think Daniil's been incredible. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Daniil's been incredible.
Yeah.
I said brother was
Anybody,
the
hey,
player
anybody-
of
Well, and
sure,
it depends.
Any- hey, listen, bro.
Is Daniil listed as an outside linebacker though? I think he is, and then it's Benito, Watt, and Mack who
No,
all
because the
have
Texans
worse
are a
stat.
4-3.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
Texans are a 4-3. D'Amico runs a 4-3, has 3 linebackers.
Benito funny.
Yeah. Linebackers. Also, I'd like to
anyway.
point out, I posted a short about Daniil Hunter, and
Yeah.
someone said reminded me of how Kirby, referring to Kirby
Oh my
Joseph,
God.
got snellabbles.
The level.
Snalls.
Okay, can we real quick? Can we talk about the only thing that actually matters when it comes to Pro Bowl voting? Why are 2 free safeties voted in, but 4 strong safeties? How the fuck does that make sense?
Oh no.
Makes
Anyway,
no sense.
Rams 13, Cardinals 9. Last Saturday game.
Ugh, we have
The
not.
only thing
been
I wrote
cooking.
down is that the Rams need to offensively figure it out fast, because this is not what they're putting on display on offense right now. Ain't gonna cut it come playoff time, and they're in. Whether or not we like it, they're in. This offensive performance is not going to outpace anybody in the NFC at the current moment. So,
No.
yeah, that's my biggest take from this game, is that if they don't figure it out offensively fast, it's over.
Who was it that had that stupid pick? Was
Worth
it
even talking
Witherspoon?
about?
The one that Kyler bulleted off of McBride's helmet,
Yeah.
that was Witherspoon. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not this
that
game.
was-
Houston's
though.
also had one.
That was
It is
literally
this game.
that
it?
and McBride's.
Oh, I'm
That
thinking.
was- that was
You
the
said
play- that was the
Witherspoon,
play
so my
that
head went
sealed
to
this game.
Devon in Seattle. I'm like, that couldn't have been
That
this
was
game.
the
No,
play that sealed this game, was Akello.
Yeah,
Getting
I
one
remember.
off of McBride's helmet.
And McBride finally getting a touchdown are literally the only things I know from this game. I did
Yeah.
not.
he
watch
finally
it.
got a touchdown and then let the most important pass of his career boink off his helmet. That's tough.
Is Jake running a disco for you too, or is my computer hating?
I think
right
your
now?
computer's being computer's
controller?
being a hater.
Yeah, but I don't really have much to say about the Rams Cardinals.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
Cards are going out sad. So, Eagles
Yeah.
41, Cowboys 7. Speaking of going out sad, apparently the Eagles are just QB factory now, because Tanner McKee
Yeah.
came in and threw 2 touchdown passes.
Well, they're
and
QB
Kenny
factory
Pickett had
unless you're
them
Kenny Pickett,
in the
because
lead.
he's bad.
I guess.
Kenny Pickett looked
Saquon
good
is a
in
monster.
this game, though.
I don't know. After watching him throw his own face into the dirt, because he's a fucking moron, I'm not giving him anything. That's
I watched every second of this game. That's the only bad play he had.
That-
It was
yeah,
a horrible play,
That's
but other
still,
than that, he
it's
looked
worse
good.
than the butt fumble, so I refuse to give him any credit. That's
think
career ending. How do you throw your own face into the dirt? He didn't let go of the ball. He
It's not
pump
a
faked
point.
so hard he
fumble
killed
because the
himself.
other team didn't
Counterpoint.
score.
I was gonna say the butt fumble. This is not worse than the butt fumble, because the butt fumble was a turnover, and this was not.
Uh,
It was a turnover 6.
No, it
the
wasn't.
Patriots scooped it and scored.
Right, I'm saying, but this play wasn't even a turnover.
Yeah.
Like, they retained possession. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
were they in
Saquon,
Philly?
good
They
at
were in
football.
Philly. Yeah, he's
there-
officially
there's-
sitting this week.
Which,
No
I
record
mean,
for him.
understandable
Well,
decision.
and
Unfortunate.
I love
honestly,
that it's
hey, 2
Saquon's
things.
decision.
One, good on the Eagles, and good on Saquon.
Yeah.
For not being like, actually, I'm gonna play and go for the record. Instead, he just said, yeah, all right, I'll take a.
I'm sure it's just like when he had the chance to break his own single game thing earlier in the
Bro,
year, where
he
they
just
asked him, "You
wants
want to
to-
play?" And he's like,
I'm
"Nah,
telling
dude,
you,
let the
bro,
young guys eat. I don't give a fuck."
He just wants to win.
Yeah.
After what he's been through, He just wants to win, and he knows that resting is what's best for the team. He just wants to win
And what's
football
best
games,
for him?
and that's
He's like,
good.
I need a week. My
And
legs
that's
hurt.
It's so sad though,
Uh,
because he'd break it next week.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
He would.
Like
Playing the Giants, definitely.
he'd break
Yeah,
it and still have fewer rushing attempts than Eric Dickerson had.
Yeah.
To set the record.
But but we're gonna get a Drew Lock versus Tanner McKee showdown.
I
We will
hope it's
not be
Tanner
watching.
McKee. I might. It could be really funny.
It'll be well. Kenny Pickett left the game because he got hurt. I don't know what his status is,
Yeah.
so it'll probably be McKee. But yeah, Devontae Smith is awesome. Really good game for him. Yeah, Bucks 48, Panthers 14.
Baker, man. That
Good
fella.
Bryce Young game, but
Yeah.
the Bucks offense just crazy. Yeah, so I was gonna bring this up. They are the fourth best offensive line by grade by PFN, which I think is crazy because
Holy
nobody really
shit.
talks about their O line, but they are giving Baker some remarkable time, which
Yeah.
is good.
So this is one of those things where I don't know if you guys saw it. Theo Ash was getting clowned for calling Baker
Oh my
bad.
God, this guy.
And he was getting clowned for it. And his point was kind of accurate. He's like, he's had the best offensive line in football, but has taken like the 5th most sacks. Like Baker, yeah. The issue Theo was pointing out was valid.
I didn't see that was his reasoning. That is
Yeah, he's like,
unfortunately accurate.
the offensive line's been awesome and he's still been kind of bad behind it. But yeah, but I do think just saying he's bad is not super fair. It's
He has
like,
a
dude, he's
clear
thrown 40
weakness.
touchdowns. He is a starting quarterback in the NFL, undoubtedly. Like, nobody's mad if
Top
they have
half of the
Baker.
league
Yeah.
starting
I was
Right, but you know
actually-
what I mean. Like, when I say a starter, that's what I mean. I do not
Fair.
think being one of the 32 best QBs in football makes you a starter. Because
I was just listening to on the way back to my apartment. I was just listening to the newest episode of Stay Hot, and Theo is literally just like, I just wish I said mid. Why did I have to say he was bad? Like, I just wish I said mid.
right, no, that's super valid.
And,
If he had said
like-
that, nobody could be angry.
But yeah, and also again, Baker's also turning the ball over at like a league, like at like a
Yeah,
like up
he's
there. You know,
third,
like
second or
again,
third in the league in picks. I
with
think
this
second
offensive line,
behind
he's
Kirk.
taking like top 5 in sacks taken, top 5 in turnovers. That's an issue, and that could ultimately be the Bucks' downfall in the playoffs.
But
and
like
it
he
will
has
be, most
aura
likely.
and threw
Most
5
likely.
touchdowns. So
Right.
also Bucky Irving almost had 200 yards for scrimmage. I love this guy. I want to shake Bucky Irving's hand and tell him well done. That's what I want to do.
Panthers defense. Like,
Bucky's built different. man.
Panthers
He
need
rocks.
help.
They need a football team.
But hey, they
Yo,
got Bryce Young.
knowing
My God.
knowing J.C. Horn was out. You guys know who they started as cornerback 1 this week to
It was a
guard Mike
Caleb
Evans?
Evans.
No, it wasn't.
Well, he played.
The guy who started, and they asked to guard Mike Evans on both of his touchdown catches, fade balls. You
Caleb
guys know
Farley?
who it was? It was Caleb Farley.
Really?
You know
On the
what's
goal
worse
line.
than that?
The Panthers said, "You know what? Hey, Caleb, you go out there and you stop Mike Evans." And both times Baker looked at it and just went, "You know what? Fade ball." And
You know
of
what?
course it worked
Fade ball.
because Caleb Farley can't hang. But yeah,
You know what's worse than that? You know who had 1 carry for the Carolina Panthers this week?
Bayless Jones.
Valus Jones Jr.
he's back. No, he's returned.
wearing the
no.
number 28. He's officially transitioned.
Oh, he's a running
Prop-
back.
Props
Oh,
to
it's over.
Valus for his
He's a running
transition.
back.
You know, I'll give him that.
He's a running
But-
back. Congratulations, buddy. Proud of you. Proud of you.
You went
Right.
from being a bad wide receiver to a bad running back. You did it.
Exactly.
Ow,
Congratulations,
Shots
buddy.
fired.
I want to
Bullying.
throw out there, by the way, Ryan Poles got offered, I think, a 3rd-round pick for this guy in the offseason. It
Should
was
have
either a
taken
3rd
it.
or a 4th. I can't remember which.
A third
he said
for
no.
Valence?
Let me double check.
All right.
It was either
let's,
3rd or a 4th.
let's ignore that
I
and go
got another
talk
team.
about another
Anyway.
shellacking.
Speaking of teams that scored only 14 points this week, Bills 40, Jets 14. Yeah, Bills are rolling offensively. Keon Coleman, Matt Collins, good and good.
Okay,
This is, I think.
he
Go
was
ahead,
offered a fourth. It wouldn't take less than a third, is what he said.
I cannot believe that.
That's so funny.
Anyway, yeah. So the thing about, and this is my take about the Bills offense. I think this is probably the most balanced Bills offense we've seen in the Josh Allen era by a large
yeah.
margin, right? With the James Cook being as good as he is. Yeah, I think this is the most balanced offense we've seen. Allen is obviously very good. Keon Coleman is very good. Matt Collins and Amari Cooper. Matt Collins is
No,
so weirdly good.
Oh, I thought you.
I don't understand that
So,
for a second.
are you guys looking at the box score for this game?
No, I just have all my notes
No.
on a Google Doc.
Real
I haven't
quick,
looked at the box,
don't
Google
look.
box score today.
Can y'all tell me who led the Bills in receiving yards?
Shavers.
Was it Matt Collins?
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it was
Shavers.
Shavers. He had the
One
Trubisky
catch for
69-yarder.
69 yards. No other receiver broke 69 in that game?
No.
Not even Keon or Mac? That's crazy.
No, Keon went 3 for
Who was
27.
second?
Mac
Keon?
went. No, second was Amari, 3 for 56.
Oh, okay.
And then
Even
Mac
Amari
Collins,
broke that?
and
That's
then
crazy.
Keon Coleman, and then Khalil Shakir.
Weird. Okay.
You know who
Miller,
else got the ball in this game? I just want to throw out there.
Reggie Gilliam.
Reggie Gilliam and Ty Johnson and Mitch Trubisky. They really said, let's give Miller football something to watch later.
Speaking of
They
Miller
really
football,
said
was
that.
it you who had the tape that the Bills wide receiver room wasn't going to be that bad, and here they are? Because again, Bills wide receiver room, he just listed all those names. Like,
I mean, the
all
Bills.
been really solid this year. Amari was a trade, obviously.
I was gonna say
but-
they've all been
They added
fine.
Amari.
If they didn't add Amari, it's still ass.
No, it would still be
because Keon was
fine.
playing like shit until they got
Okay.
Amari. If they don't add Amari, I don't think Keon starts magically being better. I think Amari helped a lot.
Okay, either way, they'd be fine. I didn't say the Bills wide receiver room was like fantastic before the season. I said they were sneaky good. They were going to be fine. Josh could produce with them. Guess what? Josh was producing with them before he got Amari. Amari just took them to the next level.
Yeah.
It went from being a serviceable receiver room to like, oh my God, there's something
I'm sorry, I
happening
forget
here.
Mac Hollins is weird.
Yeah, Mac Hollins
Yeah.
is weirdly good.
Two things about the Jets. One,
And also, like, Ty Johnson
Tyrod-
fucking rocks in the past game.
Tyrod Taylor might be the best quarterback on the roster. Two,
True.
there has been a report, I think it's confirmed, that both the Jets are desperately trying to get both Rodgers and Adams out before next year. They do not want either of them on the team. And I
Apparently,
just think
Garrett
that's
Wilson
hilarious.
has come out and said if Rodgers is back, he's
Yeah,
demanding
and Garrett
a trade.
Wilson also said, I think they're picking Garrett Wilson over those two. I think that's what they're doing.
I hope so.
which
That's the correct decision.
I'm praying that they
Is
do.
Rodgers going to start this
because-
week? I'm sure he is because he has to.
He needs that
Because
500.
I was going to say Rodgers'
that
ego
500.
won't let him go out without 500 touchdowns.
He'll throw one touchdown pass, take off his helmet, and sit on the bench and just go nuh-uh whenever Jeff Obrecht asks him to
Yep.
go back in.
I could see it, dude.
Like the
I
first
genuinely.
drive, they'll march it down, Devontae touchdown, Jeff's just like, Aaron, please, we could ruin their playoff chances. No. I'm not
Honestly,
going back.
they're
You
more
really think
likely
he's
to
gonna
ruin it with
stop at the
Tyrod.
bench? You think
Are
he's
they,
going to stop
wait,
at
are
the
they
bench?
even
He's
playing
going
the
home.
Dolphins?
He's throwing
just
that touchdown and leaving.
Dude, if it was a touchdown, they're like, Aaron, where are you going? We got a lot of
I got
ball game left."
ayahuasca to smoke.
I'll see you.
The Hat Man is calling.
Did you see? Oh, okay.
He's going to
He's
throw
trying
that
to get
touchdown-
Jared Goff. Did you guys see the clip?
No.
Goff and Rodgers were at some event together, and
Oh,
Goff comes
God.
up and goes, "Hey, I got to get some of that stuff you're doing over there, some of that medicine, you know."
Oh
and
my
Rodgers was
God.
like, yep. And I was just like, "Oh no, they're gonna get Goff too."
Listen, I got one.
Good.
Anyway,
Good.
what do you got?
He's going to walk off the field. He's going to look over at Tay and go, hey, Rogan needs us in 15, and they're both going to leave.
Yeah. Oh God.
Joe Rogan podcast episode. We have Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams. Aren't you guys supposed to be in a game right now?
Aren't
No.
the Jets losing by 30? The fuck are you doing
Yeah,
here?
the score is just on the ticker behind him.
Right. They got the
Like
That would
Rodgers
be
is like,
"Baby,
hilarious.
pull that up. Pull up
Rodgers
the
and
Jets
Devontae.
game."
Yeah, the Rodgers and Devontae are watching the game. They're like, "Oh shit, Tyrod! Like, come on now."
Just halfway through their game,
Uh,
between you and me, Garrett Wilson, a bitch.
Yeah, or it's like It's like that, like I forget that like one like really funny YouTube like comedian's name, but like that clip of him where like it's like the starter watching the backup. He's like, yeah, pretty good throw. It's a pretty good throw. It's just Aaron, just like, oh yeah, you know what, Tyrod's okay, I guess. Yeah, it was a pretty good throw.
Tyrod the goat.
Like anyway, speaking of good throws, Giants 45, Colts 23. You get him a true wide receiver 1, and look what happens. Look what happens.
Oh
all I'm
yeah,
saying.
Drew Lock had like I forgot he had like the
He had the third highest EPA of
Yeah,
ever.
dude, he had
The
one of the
third
3 greatest performances of any quarterback ever by
had
EPA.
1 point, I think it was 1.8, dude.
Every play was worth. He was giving the Giants a point every time he took the snap.
If you get
Honestly,
get
that's why
Ryan
EPA is
wide receiver
flawed.
1.
He had 5
wide
carries
receiver
for
1.
0 yards and a touchdown too.
And I have genuinely seen
Touchdown was
Giants fans
awesome, too.
say, why do you even think about going and getting a quarterback if you have a guy on the roster who can do this? Just get him some O-linemen and just keep this guy. I think the Giants might have just sold themselves on another bad backup quarterback.
Drew
Here's
Lock,
hoping.
my boy. I don't care. This was such a fun day for me watching him
I'm
do this.
sure, dude. I was
Packers
asleep.
hadn't played yet. I had nothing to worry about. Watching Drew Lock ball with Malik Neighbors, super fun.
I
And
genuinely
also
was
knowing that
asleep.
the Colts,
I was not watching.
knowing that the Colts are eliminated, we don't have to watch their terrible brand of ball. The playoffs, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
So
missed Anthony Richardson the most.
dude, that Malik Neighbors guy, first of all, good at football.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, though, I think they should fire Shane Steichen. Because of one thing in particular, before the game, when Steichen was asked about why Anthony Richardson wasn't playing, and his back's a little sore, is all he said. When turns out Anthony Richardson couldn't walk. He was crawling around his apartment. Like, he genuinely could not walk because his back was fucked up. And his coach hit the world with, well, his back was a little sore. Steichen should have been fired in that moment. That is not how you talk about your own players, you fucking
This is
loser.
how he's been talking all season.
I know, and I was mad at it back
Anthony
then. I'm more
Richardson
mad now.
is benched for the rest of the season. Hey, actually, Anthony Richardson is starting the rest of the season. Hey, maybe Joe Flacco again? Oh, Anthony Richardson's back sore. I guess we have to play.
It's just a little
Joe
sore, though.
Flacco.
It's not really bad.
But yeah, Colts are sad. Glad they're not in the playoffs. Speaking of sad, Raiders 25, Saints 10. AOC conversations happening again, boys.
Oh my god.
He's stringing them together.
No, they're
It's like
not.
an NFL
No, they
game.
they're
actually
not.
are.
It's like he's stringing them together.
Miller's
National
so
media
upset.
is starting to talk about AOC. It's big time. We're in the big leagues now, boys.
It's
Roll
big
up the way out
time.
of frame.
Let's
I'm just gonna
go.
sit here.
I'm so happy. I don't know why. I don't actually care
Brock
about
Powers
this.
is Brock Powers is a superstar. Kobe Myers is hooping. Yeah. I mean, you can't bet on the Saints to win a
I
football
actually
game
don't want to
with their
put
current
this
QB
score on the
situation.
board.
so.
I'm not. I was changing the thing. I don't care. Raiders suck. Saints suck. Can we move on though?
Jaguars, Titans. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions? You guys want? You guys are.
Can we also just really quick? Titans suck. Jaguars suck, and just move on. I don't care. We don't have that much time, and neither of these, none of these teams. We can do the
You wanna
bit.
do a bit?
You have a New Year's
The
resolution?
bit was gonna be the Jaguars and Titans. I would just say the name of the game, and we wouldn't talk about it at all. But we would just talk about a completely different subject, which I chose to be New Year's resolutions.
Oh,
So-
well, do you have any, Jake? Because I don't. I don't care.
My New Year's okay. Mine doesn't. You guys aren't gonna like mine. Well, you're not gonna hate mine because you're good people. But my New Year's resolution is to read my Bible more.
Oh, fair enough.
That's my big one.
Fair enough.
Either you have one to put out before you.
I have
Move
a
on.
couple, but I guess the most relevant one would be to upload more consistently and actually work on shorts.
I didn't make specifically a New
I'm
Year's
sure there's a
resolution.
content one, Geek.
No, well, I'm changing the way I'm doing YouTube videos, and the only reason I waited till the beginning of the year was because I always do Geekmas where I upload every day for December. I was gonna change it a month ago, but December existed, so I don't view New Year's as like a marker to change things. I just don't care. Like, if I'm gonna change it, I'll change it in March. Like, if I start to see a change I want to make, I'll just do it. I don't like wait for an arbitrary day.
See,
I understand the point of like, I want this whole year to be better, but like, if the first 3 months of the year sucks, I'm just gonna change it instead of, or like stuff starts to suck in October. I'm just gonna make the change in October. I'm not gonna wait until New Year's. So like, all of the changes were already happening or gonna happen. So like, I don't know. New Year's means
I
nothing.
get that too.
Yeah.
But like my big thing is New Year's happens and it like puts in my mind what I need to change because I
That's
won't
fair.
think about it. And then I see everyone else talking about it. I'm like, oh, what can I do? Oh, I can do this, this, and this. And then suddenly I have changes I can make. But I mean, your
For the
thing is
things where
definitely
I
valid.
have goals, I am like always thinking of everything for them. Like with content, it's like I'm not gonna change a goal for New Year's because I'm gonna change it the minute I have a problem or think I can do something better. Unless the whole issue starts right as December's starting and I have that whole
Ooh.
thing where I upload in December. Sup,
I have a resolution for you.
sup, hit me.
You should make one of your resolutions to play a game of Lethal Company with Miller Football.
Bro wants to play Lethal. Why?
I fucking love Lethal Company and no one will play
Insane.
it with me.
You've never asked. This is the first time you've ever mentioned that you've played it.
I have another geek resolution.
He's gonna
I
say to
think your
play
resolution should be-
Phasmophobia, and I'm gonna stab
I
him.
was gonna say, your resolution should be to answer Jake's texts about Phasmophobia more often.
Hey man, I'm
I-
like
I- ever.
1 out of 2. I'm like 1 for 2. I'm like 1 for 2. You've
Oh.
asked twice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway,
true.
He's gonna text me right now, and I'm
talk
straight
about,
up gonna be like, "Bro,
talk
we're
about
recording."
Dolphins Browns for a second.
Who cares? Okay. Can we just keep
Yeah,
hitting
might
these
be-
games with who cares?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that much time, and I don't want to waste my breath on the Browns or the
Oh, yeah,
Dolphins.
the
if we're
Browns-
honest.
The
Here,
Browns are ass. Snoop Huntley Fox. Johnny Smith should have been a Pro Bowler. Moving on.
also,
Vikings-
McDaniel still can't coach a running game. I don't understand. He's.
Yeah.
Vikings 27, Packers 25.
Let's talk
Quick
about
thoughts.
a good game.
Packers need to play better against good teams. Okay, play better and start better. Those are my two keys for the Packers come playoff time. Start better, play better. Those are my two big things. They if they don't get off the slow starts, they can hang, but they just do. And it's evident because when they played the Lions and they got through a slow start the second time, they only lost by 3. When they played the Vikings and got off to a slow start, they only lost by 2. They can hang with these teams. They just have to start off faster than they are. But their slow starts put them in too big of a hole, and then they can't come back from it because their defense can't get a stop, and that's a different issue. But those
Well,
are my two things. Also,
Go ahead. Sorry.
Jordan Love, not good in this game. The defense, Brian Flores' defense, not taking it too seriously. Jordan Love is really good, and hopefully we beat the. I don't really care about beating the Bears. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to play a tough game either way. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope we beat the Bears because to see that guy in his current state, it's just funny.
That's fucked
I love
up.
and I hope that.
It's just complimenting your soul and like everything about you.
Listen, man,
being
here's the
a
thing.
person,
But
and you want to see me suffer.
you're gonna. You want to see me suffer. You want the Packers to get blown out in round 1 of the playoffs, and you know you do. You know you want the Eagles to beat them by 50. You know you do. You know you want me to suffer about that. You know it. Look at his eyes. You can tell. Look at his eyes. Look at his mouth. You can tell.
Look
at his mouth.
in his mouth.
Look
That's
in his mouth.
insane.
You'll be able to
Oh,
see.
no,
Look in-
gross. Dude, get that off the screen, you freak. What the fuck are we doing?
He
That
said,
was
"Look at
perfect.
his mouth." Did
That was
you
a good
see
bit.
it?
It was a good.
I'm
I
killing myself.
I saw everything. I saw everything he wanted to say. Anyway,
That was for someone out
yeah.
there. I'm sure someone enjoyed that.
Oh.
someone enjoyed that. If Sam listened to the show, he would enjoy that. I think. Yeah.
Exactly
but-
who I thought of too.
dude. But yeah, I don't know. The Packers played well in the end of this game. Almost made the comeback. Just got to get a stop on defense, and they haven't been great at that. But you go to Philly. I think We almost beat them in week 1 when Jordan Love was hot. So I don't know. I think it would be a decent game, but yeah, it's either Philly or fuck. Who's the 3 seed? Philly. No, who's
No,
the 3
Philly
seed?
or the Rams.
Oh, the
Yeah.
NFC West winner, dude. I hope we lose. Wait, yeah. No, we gotta win.
Yeah.
We gotta win. We gotta be the 6th seed. We gotta be the 6th seed. Now I really want to win. I'd so much rather play the Rams. But if we play the Rams, it'll be good. If we play the Eagles, I probably will be sad.
Bro
Anyway.
wants to play Matt Stafford in the playoffs. He's a bozo.
We did last. We already played Matt Stafford in the playoffs
When
3 years ago. The divisional beat him. Yeah.
no, is that right?
Was that Brock? They beat the Rams in the playoffs like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember if Stafford was there yet. Maybe he wasn't.
Well, because I think 3 years ago was the Super Bowl run. So no, you didn't. Am I right?
We didn't lose
Was
to
that-
them. I'm saying
I don't know.
last time we played them in the playoffs, we beat them. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now I gotta look up
no, I'm not
Matthew
wrong. We beat
Stafford.
them last time we played in the playoffs. Anyway, can you talk about the Vikings? Quick?
Well, no, I was gonna let Miller say things if he had things to say. Did you watch this
CJ
game?
Ham had a clutch first down. I did. Anything I have to say is going to be.
Do
You
it.
guys will have to say it. So, like, CJ Ham had a clutch first down. That's all I care about. I
CJ
don't
Ham
find
had 2
joy in
catches,
watching football, so
but CJ Ham had 2 catches.
yeah, that gave me a slight hit of dopamine. But like, other than that, watching these two fucking garbage ass, stupid ass, ugly ass teams play each other didn't
Whoa.
give me any joy. I hate them both, and I wish they both would have forfeited. And I wish all of their starters would retire, create a collective apple farm, start a very lucrative business, take care of themselves and their families, and never play football again.
Yeah. So Stafford never played the Packers in the playoffs. Ever.
Okay, cool.
So
Talk about
Yes,
the
he
Vikings.
played that.
sorry, I said I was looking it up. So yeah, you beat Jimmy Garoppolo, or not Jimmy Garoppolo. You beat Jared Goff.
The
My brain-
goober.
Garoppolo is a Ram right now.
Yeah.
So do it that way, you will. No, for the Vikings, I don't know. I know this game finished close, but I'm getting really sick of people pretending it was a close game. The Packers, outside of the first quarter, never took a snap with a chance to take a lead, not one time. Not in the second quarter, not in the third quarter, not in the fourth quarter. It was never close. And the whole, you scored twice late when Flores started doing prevent defense, as you do, because it allowed you to waste clock, and it worked. As much as I hate it, because if you just stick with what worked, you just get the ball back and it's over anyways. But whatever. I'm not the NFL defensive coach guy. I don't know. So I don't know, I trust Flores's ideas, and I mean, it worked. So whatever. Sam Darnold is fucking awesome, and that scares me. Me and Miller were talking about this on Sunday, but like, Miller is now questioning what the Vikings should do there.
I'm hoping they trade McCarthy.
That part's not going to happen, no matter which thing
It
happens.
better.
I just hope I know it won't, but I'm manifesting it. I'm going to speak it into
I
existence.
know you tried to do the same thing with Jordan Love and the Packers. I know.
Yeah, and look at how he's doing now. He's not doing so hot. He just came off a bad game. Miller undefeated.
He just came off a
Thank
bad
God.
game, but he's been
Please stop
playoff
talking.
clinched for 6 weeks. So I don't
Shut
know.
up. Shut up.
This game, Jalen Naylor finally did something again, which is sick. I don't know. I think I want home field for the playoffs so bad. So bad, man. I don't know. This team is so good. It's weird having a Vikings team where I can actually just be like, we're so good. And I'm not trying to make excuses for Ed Donatel's existence. Like, we're actually just good at football, and it's really weird.
Must be nice.
It is. Is this how you felt in 2018?
Yeah,
Until doink doink?
that's over 6 years ago. Man, going on 7 years ago.
Well, I know. I haven't felt this way since 2009. Okay?
I felt
Okay.
it once my whole life.
Yeah, same. 2009.
2 times now, buddy.
This is true. Your time hopefully is coming. If not, just follow Caleb wherever he ends up going. It'll be better. If I think it'll work. I think the Bears, I don't want to say they've built something really good because they forgot the most integral part of football, but that's okay. The trenches are important, and the Bears don't care. Well, that too, but
they forgot it.
I mean, fullbacks count as part of the trenches, right?
Speaking of fullbacks, can I bring up something real quick so I can say something positive, and then you can go back to Vikings? Kyle Juszczyk officially has more Pro Bowls than any fullback in NFL history. Just wanted to throw that out.
Nice. Hall of Famer? Question mark.
Should be.
He won't be if Allstott can't get in.
I think.
Yeah. If Allstott can't get in, Juice can't get in.
Like, I'm not gonna go on a whole rant, but like, I think from a technical standpoint, you could make an argument because they're 2 different types of fullbacks.
Sure.
And Juszczyk, if his longevity continues, if he continues playing at a high level like he has been for the next couple years, considering he's like the big switch for fullback play, becoming this like more versatile hybrid position, I think one could get him in as like the pioneer of the future of the position, whereas Allstott was like one of the last standing giants of an already established position. I think
Allstott should still already be in, but that's.
I think both should be in.
Yeah.
But I think there's a world where you could put Juice in over Allstott. I think both of them, there will be a day when they're old and gray.
Yeah.
Where their names are up on the stadium and up on the board, and I get to announce them going into the Hall of Fame. Not their wives, not their children, me, Miller Football.
Okay.
I'm more important.
Okay.
Anyway,
this game though was a little bittersweet. Because I am pretty sold that this is at least the final regular season home game Harrison Smith's ever going to play. And that's very sad. I'm very sad. But I'm hoping that if we get the 1 seed, I can go to a playoff game and see him in Minnesota one last time.
Why can't you go to a wild card game? They're going to host either way, aren't they? No, they're not. That's right.
That's not how that works. It should be.
I wish it did.
I think division winners should only be guaranteed a playoff spot. I don't understand why Atlanta or Tampa deserves a home game more than a team who, wins 14 games. That's stupid. You deserve to be in the playoffs. I think you win the division, you should be in the playoffs. But I don't think you should immediately be get a home game. Why? Why do you deserve that?
The NFL playoffs should be 32 teams.
Yeah, fuck it.
Every single team makes the playoffs. And every single team gets to host at least 1 game round robin style.
Everybody gangsta till Caleb Williams pulls off an insane Cinderella run.
That'd be sick. Who would the Bears even play? Hold on.
The 15 seed Bears play the 2 seed.
Are they the 15 seed? I don't actually know.
I don't know.
What would they be?
Can we just keep moving?
No, the Bears would be. Oof. They'd be like the 15 seed. They'd be going to Philly. Eagles. Yeah.
Oh, Corey Blasting game, revenge game.
Oh,
no. Never mind. Fuck it. Not doing that. We gotta throw that out.
I changed my mind. We're not doing this.
Hey, Miller. I have a question, and you're going to answer it, and we will not speak of the question or why I asked it ever again.
Okay.
Is Jack Sanborn white?
Yes.
Okay. Moving
on. Sandman.
Okay.
Okay, I kind of want to explain why I asked.
Yeah,
please do.
So there's this. You guys know how there's an NFL VR game?
Yeah.
Where you get to be the quarterback. So I was at my cousin's house during Christmas, and he has it. So I was playing it as the Packers, and Jack Sanborn was black in the game, and I said this can't be right, and my cousin said no, he's black, dude. He's black, and I was like what? And then my uncle was like, yeah, Jack Sanborn's black, dude, and I was like.
You were getting gaslit so hard.
I was like, dude, this cannot be true. Like,
dude, he's like Wisconsin fucking.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But they were telling me.
White, dude.
They were telling me, man.
I don't know if he's from Wisconsin. I know he went there. Let me double check.
Also, going back to football games and not video games.
I'm an idiot. He's a local kid. Yeah, he's from fucking Lake Zurich, Illinois.
Well, I mean, that's the same area of the world.
same like Midwest fucking
Yeah.
thick neck white boy. Look up a picture of Jack Sanborn's face. Like he is as white as it gets.
Are we on
Will
Commanders
Reichard
Falcons?
scares me right now. I don't know what is
okay.
happening. Vikings kickers playoff time, scary. Call John Parker
is a white
Romo
boy
again,
right there.
please.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh God, more games to talk about.
Vikings double doink to lose in the playoffs.
That would never
We
happen.
are
We'll
here.
just miss wide left
We
again.
are. Anyway, Commanders 30, Falcons 24. Jaden Daniels is good. Penix is the best quarterback in Atlanta, and
yeah, but his mechanics are so bad.
Yes,
yeah, it's rough.
it's
It
almost
started
like
Kirk,
nothing
but
changed.
It's rough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what he was. He needs to get his mechanics right, but I do think he's
I will
he's
say
a
like
guy.
he's impressed me more than I thought he would.
Yes,
But he needs
He
a
can sling it,
total
dude.
mechanic
He can zip
overhaul
it,
in the
yeah.
offseason to be a real starter.
and I don't know
Which I
if
think
he'll
he'll
do it.
get.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons should pour into doing that. And if they commit
They
to him
should.
as a quarterback, which they will, because Kirk won't be on the team, and they
I don't know how you
will
get rid of Kirk.
hopefully.
That's a
There's a way.
huge cap hit.
Suggest
Yeah, but-
he retires.
No, but he
with
wants
the
to
fire.
play.
You go to
But you
You
use
go
a
to- you-
firearm to suggest it.
Whoa!
yeah, you go to his house while he's not home, and you just
When in
casually-
Atlanta, am I right?
I have to say it, but
Yes.
Kyle Pitts might be back, boys.
all he
Yeah,
needed
he,
was
like-
Michael Penix Jr. Caught the game tying touchdown, which didn't end up mattering, but he caught the game tying touchdown.
that was a
and then
nice
Zach Ertz
throw.
caught the game winning touchdown. That was a great throw by Penix on that one.
Yeah.
Zach
Yeah.
Ertz, the GOAT.
Only other thing I wrote down was
Ooh.
the Commanders still don't strike me as a top contender in the NFC, and they are not going to make a run. And
Their
I mean-
roster's just too weak, I think, to make like a real push.
they could beat the
I don't know,
Rams.
but
I think
also-
the current state of the Rams, they could beat the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely.
they could
if
beat.
they're the sixth seed,
Okay.
but I don't think they go any further.
I think they're really weird. I don't know. Jaden Daniels, man, he's sick. They're not
He's
going to
really
go that
good.
far, but like
He's really good. But
Yeah,
it's all
Jaden
about-
is the only thing like elevating
Jaden and
this
Scary
team,
Terry are just so good.
but I
And
don't see them making it past the divisional. I don't think
Yeah,
they'd be.
I mean,
it's
I've been really.
I think they would
I've been
be
really
most likely to
impressed.
beat Philly if that's who they got, which wouldn't have, and that's just because divisional games.
But I still don't think.
Yeah.
No, I don't either. But
I've been really impressed. The reason I've been really impressed with Jaden the past 2 weeks, I love his composure on these last two late game drives that need to win. He's not really a rookie in that sense. He feels like he's a lot more mature and can stay composed.
as he
and
should be, he is one of the
just
older rookies
in the
also.
pocket and be solid, right? Like so,
Yeah.
that's why I've been impressed and why I think they could win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Is because when it comes to late game moments, he doesn't just spaz out like a rookie is supposed to.
Yeah.
And freak out and just throw like the worst pick ever seen. He stands in the pocket. He's composed. His rushing ability, dude. He killed the Falcons on the ground in this game. Absolutely murdered them on the ground.
Yeah.
And you can probably do that to the Rams. So I think that they want
Yeah.
the 6th seed real bad. I
Yeah.
would not want to go back to Philly, I don't think. But they
No,
want the 6th seed real bad.
because if you get the Rams, then
Um,
you get probably either Minnesota or Detroit. Whoever gets the 1 seed.
Right.
And I don't know if they can do that. I just don't think their defense is good enough to deal with an offense
No.
like that.
No. But speaking of the Lions 49ers 34. I had one note about this game. I told Geek before the show, but I had one note about this game. Lions are gross and stinky, and I hate them.
What brought this up?
I just don't like them.
They're a division
Well,
rival.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was something specific.
No, it wasn't something specific in this game. They employed Kirby Joseph. I guess that to get more specific.
Yeah,
I guess I can say that.
that works.
Also,
think
Lions
Ricky
fans are
Pearsall's
annoying
legit.
me again.
That was a big take. I think Ricky Pearsall's legit.
Yeah.
I think
Ricky
he had a really
sucks,
really
dude.
good game.
I love Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky's legit. And my other takeaways of the Niners have no real reason to be like anxious currently. I just think the injuries killed them this year, and they're still a good football team.
I would say they have to be anxious
think
because you're still.
They got to be anxious about
debating whether
Purdy.
you're
Yeah.
playing
yeah.
Purdy.
I-
Yeah.
I think this
That's-
game
that-
tells me
that's-
you can't. He had a chance to do everything possible to beat the Lions, and he chose to do everything possible to lose to the Lions. Stop throwing it to Kirby Joseph. It is actually not that hard to not give it to Kirby Joseph.
I think, yeah, I mean, we've exhausted the Purdy narratives on this show.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't think I wouldn't pay him. I don't think anybody in the show would pay him currently. Maybe Miller. I haven't really. Maybe
Not
Miller.
to the
I don't think
degree
anybody in
that
the
he's
show would pay
rumored
him
to
currently.
get.
No, definitely
He wants
not.
Jared
I don't think
Goff
any
money.
logical
Yeah,
human would pay
no.
him $60 a year. I don't see how any logical human could, in the right mind, hand that man $60 million a year. But no, I wouldn't pay him. Period. I would let him. Out
Yeah,
the
I'm
front
letting him
door, no
walk.
matter what.
Because
gonna-
you
I
have
think- I don't
Shanahan,
think-
I'm letting him walk.
I mean,
I
unless
think-
he's like cheap, like extremely cheap, which he won't be at all. There was no shot he drops to the level where I would pay him. No shot, because he knows what the market is. He's gonna ask for way more than he's worth.
And you
So
know a
unless it
team like
drops
the
to, like,
Titans
ridiculously
or the
cheap, which it
Raiders
won't.
or somebody is going to be like, imagine the Raiders stay where they're at with the 8th pick and know they're not getting a quarterback.
Somebody,
and Darnold
yeah.
doesn't hit free agency. The Raiders are giving him everything.
Somebody will outbid the Niners
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Titans will do it, or somebody.
Somebody will outbid the Niners by
Um,
far. Yep.
I do want to say the whole Lions fans clowning the Vikings for celebrating for Sam Darnold when he became like the single season winningest quarterback for the Vikings and had a career game and they were clowning us for that big locker room celebration. But then we're so hyped over Dan Campbell crying over an actual meaningless game. Can we just keep the same energy? Either it's fine to celebrate or it's not. Can we just pick one? You fucking weirdos. I don't
Was
understand.
that game
Cornball, man.
For the Lions, yes. If they lose, it's still for the 1 seed next week. Nothing changes.
Oh,
It
okay.
straight up had no meaning. Because Dan Campbell even said he considered resting all of his guys, but he didn't
Right,
because
yeah.
like they're the ones who worked all week for this spot, which like fair enough. But
Yeah.
I also see the world where Goff gets hurt and everybody yells at Dan Campbell for playing him in a meaningless game. So
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yep.
know.
Also,
And like,
real
good
quick-
for the Lions for still caring enough to go out and win this game. Because like, with the way the Niners were playing, I could totally see them being like, "Who fucking cares, dude?" and just walking off.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Miller.
I want to say real quick because you brought up Dan Campbell. He's corny. Speaking of things that people may find corny, I'm not saying it's inherently corny. This is just the best way I can transition. Can you tell the Vikings if they're going to do their touchdown celebration thing to stay away from things that I like?
No,
I don't like that. They're not allowed to do High School Musical.
that was
That's
so
not allowed.
sick.
Dickhead.
That was so
No.
sick.
No. Teams I don't like can't associate themselves with my childhood. It's not allowed.
Dude,
that would be like
that was
that would
so
be like
good.
fucking Josh Jacobs taking off his helmet and flashing a fucking Charizard card after a touchdown. Like, no, that's not allowed. Fuck you.
Yeah. What if
But
what
we're
if
all
Josh
in this
Jacobs?
together.
I don't like the Vikings. They're not allowed to do it.
They
Yeah.
did
What
it.
would you say? What would you say if Josh Jacobs gets stopped for a loss? He lifts up his shirt and he said, and the shirt says, "Wouldn't have happened if I had a fullback." Then what do you say?
Yeah, what
I
are you
mean,
doing
then-
then?
Then what do you say?
Well, I mean, he did something like something negative happened to the Packers, and it gives me an opportunity to say something negative about the Packers, so I'm taking that.
That's fair, actually.
But also, one of the members of the Packers explicitly expressed that he wants a fullback.
Okay, good for him. He's smart. The rest of the organization
I
isn't
don't-
because they don't employ
Bro
one. They're
just
dumbass.
wants to hate the Vikings. I get it, but like, man,
Yeah.
Cam Bynum,
You can't.
the goat.
You can't do High School Musical.
Is that the
can't.
only one that offended you?
Yes,
Bro wasn't
it's the
into
only one that
Camp
matters
Rock.
to me.
I
Hey,
was into the
listen, bro.
Parent Trap.
Cam Bynum, we know you're listening. You cannot do it again. No more.
No, you
If they-
no more High School
honestly
Musical,
do,
Cam.
do more
No
High School Musical just to spite Miller football.
I swear to God, if they come out and score a touchdown next week and do like the fucking, I can't remember the name of the song, but the baseball song from High School Musical.
Oh my
3.
God! Yes, yes, they're doing that. Cam
Or
Bynum
like-
pick 6 off Jared Goff that seals the game, and they start doing the "You gotta get your head in the game" song.
No, that's That's the basketball song.
Is
I Don't Dance is what I was thinking
yeah.
of. Get Your Head
Even
in the
that-
Game is from the original.
Oh, wait, it's even better. Stephon Gilmore gets the pick 6, and the whole team does the I Don't Dance thing with Gilmore. That'd be so sick. I want it.
'cause,
I
like-
need it bad.
Yeah.
You two,
the
I
one I
don't know
was-
if I want you two to watch the Lions game with me.
The one I was thinking of in the second movie, there's a point where like the second basketball player who's played by Corbin Bleu. I don't
Yeah.
know why I said because of the fucking
Corbin.
chicken.
Corbin.
Cordon Bleu. That's what I
Corbin.
was thinking of. But Corbin Bleu, he is talking about like he doesn't dance, and they're playing baseball, and the whole thing turns into like a big
Yeah,
choreographed
I
number.
remember.
I don't know why my head didn't go to Get Your Head in the Game though. I guess because I was like, they're not going to do one from two the same movie twice.
Probably
They
not.
gotta move on.
Yeah, they're gonna move on. I do want to know what's next. I'm so excited to watch Jared Goff throw an interception just so we get
Okay,
the
listen.
dance.
If it's against the Lions, I can. Actually, I guess
It was
this one was
against the
against
Packers.
Packers, so I can. You know what? I've talked myself into it. It's allowed.
Yeah,
They get
Speaking
my
of moving
approval. It just
on-
has to be
speaking
up
of
against
moving
NFC
on,
North teams.
Let's pick some games.
Real quick.
This is never quick.
Well, I mean, it's a quick ball.
It is a quick ball.
from
Is it
movie or TV
related
show,
To
No.
a movie, yeah.
video
Same
game.
question. Sports related?
No. No.
Is it food?
Not sports related.
No,
Food. Is it a piece of technology?
it is a
any
piece
kind?
of technology.
Is it an earbud? Singular.
Is it
It is not an earbud.
is it an accessory or does
It
it,
is an
act as a
accessory.
main functioning accessory?
Well,
is it
I
an
guess
accessory to your
I guess it has a primary function, but it would probably be considered an accessory.
is it an accessory to your computer?
It could go to my computer. Yes, that's what I bought it for. But it could go with other
Could it
things.
be accessory to your phone?
It could. I've used it for my
Geek, you're
phone.
the tech guy here.
I have
Let's see
no
if you
clue
got
what the
something.
fuck he's
in your
trying to say
bag.
here.
Is it a microphone of some kind?
It is not a microphone.
I didn't think so. It's not a
it's not a
camera.
headset?
It's too small.
It's not a headset.
Too
Just
small.
want to
not a
be a
camera.
camera.
Is it like? It's not. It's probably not a cable. Is it a cable of some kind?
Cable's more in the right.
Is it
Thought
just like
process.
the dongle for your mouse? Like
You're-
the
you're
little
getting there.
USB thing you plug in so your mouse can.
You're
Is it just not
getting
for your
really
mouse?
close.
Is it just a USB dongle of some kind? Is it a flash
It
drive?
is- No, it is
Ah,
a
fuck.
USB-C adapter.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see.
Okay.
I was like, how the fuck can it be kind of for a phone? That makes sense.
Yeah, we have like weird iPad charger. I think it's my sister's iPad charger that has like a USB-C port instead of a normal USB port. So we had to buy these to use it for.
Because
it.
USB-C is better.
Well, we just don't have any.
Yeah, you have to replace all
choices.
your cables if you switch
Yeah.
to USB. I understand.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
Anyway.
yeah, picks.
Starting off with the first Saturday game, Browns at Ravens. Who are the
Ravens.
Ravens?
I think I'm taking the Ravens also. I don't have my picks up, but I think I'm taking the Ravens.
by like $1 billion, man.
Bengals Steelers. Give me the Bengals. I
Give me
want
the
it.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Panthers Falcons. Give
Falcons.
me Falcons.
Give me the Panthers.
Okay.
What?
Panthers.
I'm sorry, because the
They're playing
Falcons
for
have played
something.
so well. Who
They're
cares?
playing for something.
Yeah, yes, because that
Texans
always
Titans.
matters.
I think it will.
Texans Titans. Give me
The Panthers are
the
playing to
Texans.
keep a division rival out of the playoffs.
What do I have to pick? And also, I need them to lose.
The Texans,
My
Titans. I'm
draft
taking the
pick.
Texans.
Miller.
Up.
Texans Titans.
Texans.
Did you say it already? I didn't.
We
I
both
think he
said
talked over you. I
Texans.
didn't hear you. Okay. Giants Eagles. Give me the Giants.
Taking the
Eagles
Eagles. even with
backups.
the
They don't
backups.
care. Eag.
I don't
Tanner
know.
McKee gonna come out and say this means something to me.
Yeah,
And he's
but
gonna
the Eagles can't figure out a third wide receiver. Who's he throwing to?
Johnny Wilson and Anais Smith.
I do like Anais Smith. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Eagles. That's who I took initially.
With Kenny Gainwell and Will Shipley.
They need Boston Scott for the Giants games, right? Giant killer.
Jaguars, Colts. Give me the I don't know.
Give me the Colts.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess the Colts.
Okay. Commanders, Cowboys. Give me the commies.
Commies. They're
The
playing for
Washington
something.
Team.
And Dallas is actually the worst team in football, so.
Yeah.
Bears, Packers. Give me the Packers. Gotta pick them.
I vote for the stadium to Packers.
Miller,
I
the Bears.
am also taking the Packers.
He's trying
Whoa.
something different.
He's doing it again. He's doing it again.
The
He rooted for us
curse.
last week. He's doing it again. Okay.
Let's go, Miller. I respect it.
Hey,
But I also don't.
Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
But either you're right or you're happy. Buccaneers, yeah.
Exactly. I just don't have any faith in this team, man. None.
Yeah, I get that.
You picking the Bucks, Miller?
Yeah, Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Bills, Patriots. Bills.
Bills.
Even if they rock with Mitchie True.
Chargers,
True.
Raiders. Chargers.
Chargers.
Sorry, I didn't hear the other team you said for a second. I was trying to materialize it in my mind.
If Aiden O'Connell wins this game, give him lifetime deal.
Yeah,
Niners,
do it, Raiders.
Cardinals.
You suck forever. What's
Niners,
this game?
Cardinals. Niners, Cardinals.
Niners.
Cardinals again. They gonna beat him again.
Cards.
Actually, wait, no. Purdy's not playing. Cardinals.
Josh
Purdy's out.
Dobbs'
He's-
revenge game.
His elbow.
Josh-
He got like nerve damage. Or
His
some shit.
elbow's fucked up again.
Yeah,
Maybe
like,
he's not
nerve
getting
Chiefs,
paid.
Broncos with no Mahomes.
Chiefs.
Broncos.
Sean Payton
Broncos.
losing an important game in the funniest fashion possible. It happens every time.
Broncos have a
Give me the
fullback
Chiefs.
that
True.
blocks well.
Yeah, but they're
fullback that blocks well.
from Denver
Good
and have
save.
Sean Payton. They're losing. Sorry.
Seahawks, Rams.
Are the Rams sitting their starters?
They could. They have no reason to play, but they haven't announced
I
anything.
mean,
I don't know. I saw the Seahawks put up fucking 6 points against the Bears. Give me the Rams. I don't care.
Yeah,
who
give me
they
the
play.
yeah, I'm
Rams.
taking the Rams, man.
Rams can have me out there.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Jets. Dolphins fighting for their playoff spot.
Dolphins, absolutely.
Honestly-
Snoop.
Rodgers is such a petty little bitch. Give me the Jets by a. It's gonna be a 50-point game.
And now the game that will decide the 1 seed in the NFC. Vikings at Lions. Give me the Lions.
Vikings.
Give me the Vikings.
Let's go. Geek and I are gonna be right.
Yeah.
I don't like the Lions.
No, I get that you don't like the
I don't
Vikings, but at
either.
least we can agree that they're at least less insufferable.
Vikings
the Vikings
are.
in High School
Vikings
Musical,
got a bad
they-
taste for me right now.
That's fair.
Why are you
under-
tasting the Vikings?
They just beat us last week.
Why are you tasting them?
Why are you tasting them?
Oh, why am I
What, you lose a
tasting them?
bet? You
I
lose a
do it
bet?
with every NFL team.
What, if the Packers lose, you got to taste the other team?
No. I'm an NFL certified taste tester. But every locker room.
Real
and
quick, Vikings
Hold on.
Lions game
just
pisses
licked-
me off a little.
I just lick, man. I just lick.
What are they sending
Alright.
you? Like the remains after urine tests, and you got to take like
No,
is that
no,
how they do
they send
urine
me-
tests?
They send me to NFL locker rooms after a game, and I lick the wall, and I say, "This is what this team tastes like," and they say, "Thank you," and I say, "Give me the money," and they give me the money,
So,
and here I am.
okay.
Buddy, for that, why are you here?
Vikings Lions, I would like to back it up and talk about this
Good
for
point.
a second. I'm a little annoyed at the Vikings. I don't think it actually makes a difference, and they made a slightly better choice this morning.
Uniform.
Yes!
Sorry.
Why do teams
matter,
not
don't
care
care.
about the uniform matchup ever?
They don't
All the
matter.
time. They do. Put
Don't
a
matter, not at
cool
all.
product on the field, man. Now, the
I'm more
Vikings
worried-
did fix
It's-
it today. They
It's
did
the
fix
Vikings
it a
and the
little.
Lions for the 1 seed. It's already a
I
cool
was gonna say,
product.
you know
Who
how you
cares
put a
about the
cool product
matchup?
on
Yeah,
the field?
but
You play
okay,
good
You
football.
put
Give me
those two on
the
prime
Lions
time.
black uniforms with blue pants and the Vikings whiteouts. It would have looked so good.
Or you could just like play good football, and that will.
I
That will
get
make
it.
yeah.
Neither of you
I
care
really
because your
hope the
teams have
Vikings
shitty
lose
uniforms. I
because
don't care.
The Bears have beautiful.
No,
uniforms.
I just don't
love
think
their
it
uniforms.
matters.
I just
don't
I
think
kind
it
of
in
care.
any way has a
I
significance.
care about the way uniforms look. I'm sorry.
I hope.
I'll put it this way: I don't give a fuck because I think both teams' uniforms are ugly.
Yeah, but
I must just
you're
say
a
something
hater.
really mean to Geek, but I
I
won't
am.
do it.
Actively, I'm a hater.
yeah, I
just,
know.
just know I'm holding back, Geek. Just know there's something I could have said,
Once
but
the
I didn't.
show's over, I want to know. But no. So
I could
originally
say-
the plan.
It's funnier if I say it on the show, though,
Then just say it.
for comedic purposes. You know what, Geek? When they're on the field, why don't you just imagine that they're in the other uniforms?
All right.
Yeah, why don't you just pretend? Why don't you
Oh.
like
Why don't you just
pull up
so
Madden on
just-
the other screen
So
and pause
as
it
far
and
as
play it after every play?
as far as everyone can tell, the Lions are gonna wear their blue pants for the first time though. The Vikings were initially planning purple pants. They changed it today because of that though. So they're going white jersey, white pants. So they at least kind of thought about it. I just am mad. We had 3 opportunities to use an alternate and we only took 2 of them. We could have worn our throwbacks one more time, sometime in the year, or the whiteouts one other time. And we didn't, and that makes me mad. Why did we wait? We have 2 great uniforms and we chose not to wear them. But we wore purple jerseys, purple pants fucking twice. That shit sucks.
Maybe it's because the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell were more worried about their game plan, which resulted in a bunch of wins than they were about how they looked on game day.
But it's not even a Kevin O'Connell or team like players problem. Somebody else makes this decision.
Well, maybe every time they went like, "Hey, Kevin, do you have any preferences here?" He's like, "I don't care. I got a game to play in."
Right. So then make
He's
the
like-
cooler choice if it's
was gonna
entirely up
say-
to you. My thought was we were going to wear the purple, like the purple, white, purple outfit just because we're undefeated in that. Like,
the fit,
yeah,
the outfit.
yeah.
Anyway,
I almost said kit instead. Like, this is fucking soccer.
Your
So-
costume. You going out on
not
stage?
costume. Stop. I'm not going to say uniform now
believe,
because I hate you.
I mean, the Vikings
It's-
are
it's a kit. We're
frauds
going
and
with the kit.
actors, so
All right, dude. Talk to me when the
I
Bears
believe
are
that's
good
all
one
we've
time.
got. I believe that's
all
all,
right.
we
This
got.
will be the last time you
Um,
see me and Geek speak.
Imagine.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be
I think that's all
incredible.
we got for you guys. I think either next week's show or the show after will be we're talking about doing a little RTN specific award show where we create a bunch of awards and we give them out, and that's also where we'll find out who won the picks.
Why
And
don't
so
we do
yeah,
that Pro Bowl week?
Oh yeah.
that'll be Pro Bowl.
That
week.
makes more
Yes.
sense.
Okay, so Pro Bowl week we'll do the RTN awards. We're gonna have the categories out so we can have ample voting time so people can vote. And
I say we
Most of
drop
them
the
will be-
categories next week, and then we announce them. Pro Bowl
yes.
week.
Yes, sounds good. We'll drop the categories next week, probably on our socials. So go follow us on Twitter, Everyone North Pod, everywhere on all our other socials. If you guys are listening to Spotify, give us a rate, give us a review. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.